I gotta play. It's a guy that we both like.
There's one I sold for 61 on April 27th. Damn. Free shipping. Hell yeah, man.
It's not the obvious guys that win you your league.
Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, no, I got auto picked.
Oh, there's one.
Oh, you missed your pick. People start going way off the board here.
That's a steal, babe.
I was clicking the button. This is all messed up now. How do we get so many auto picks? 2, 1.
Nailed it.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Football Card Quest. We are going to be doing a little bit of pay up or pay down tonight discussion before we hop into some Underdog best ball drafts. Got my main man Steve, the eBay hitman Steve. How's the hitman experience been going for you? Because I've not had much luck, man. It's been tough. It's been tough going the past couple weeks.
Pretty good. And I've also, kind of started buying again, getting ready for the beginning of the season and finding the good deals. I'm going to try to be a lot more diligent in kind of keeping a spreadsheet and documenting every little move and, how much like a 10 card order I'm able to make on like a bulk buy and stuff like that. So I think that's important to know because not everything's going to be like a big home run or a 5X or a 20X in rare cases like the one we talked about last week. But I want to see like the smaller buys, like the 2 turn into a 10 or the 1 turn into a 5, which are, I feel like, really big missed opportunities.
There is a lot of opportunities there. I want to ask you, and I'm curious to get everybody's opinion in the chat. Do you think that the 2021 product has been overprinted compared to 2020? Like, do you think they printed more in 2021 just on the same general cards?
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the actual numbers, but I would say probably. But I think that there's also maybe just a hair of favoritism towards those 2020 prints, even if they are similar in numbers, simply because that's the product everyone has they were staring it in the face. They were looking for it at the Target, at the Walmart, wherever, simply because that's when the market popped off. So I wouldn't doubt for a second that the print runs are higher, but sheerly just on the what was going on in the hobby itself when the hobby exploded, I think that's going to hone 2019, 2020 product even that much more.
So that's why then the Jamar Chase optic hollow that sells for around $15 is not able or is going to be very difficult for that to break out to a $50 price tier.
So Andy, I think what would be a good comparison, and I want to see your opinion on this. What about like an optic orange out of $299? Those are serial numbered, so we know there's only 299 of them. How would that compare, right? How would the aqua compare? How would the disco compare? Those are the ones I want to know about because those have serial numbers, and that I think may be a better barometer because we don't really know the print run of the optic hollows. We can only speculate, but with ones that have serial numbers, I think that'd be a good measuring tool.
That's interesting. I know. I think that's a really smart strategy. I wish I had that comparison pulled up for you. I could do a little bit of digging here to see if I can find a 2021 optic orange, and then I guess we would go 2020 purple optic Justin Jefferson and try and find something serial numbered similar. So because the orange is color matched with the Bengals, the purple for the Vikings, just to see then what a difference is. I think that's ultimately right. I mean, I think that's a safe strategy. Like you can go between draft classes, but you got to pick something. It's almost like the more modern you get, 2021 and 2022, you got to pick something that's a little bit more rare just to be on the safe side, right? Just pick something a little bit more rare compared to whatever it is that you're comparing from 2020. And then obviously, Steve, you alluded to it, but 2019, 2018, 2017 product starts getting exponentially more rare. But I want to ask you, going back before 2016, when you had Topps and Bowman and all the different top sets, do you think what do you think of, because you also had Panini in the game at that time, what do you think about the scarcity from that time compared to 2020? Where do you think that ranks up?
I would say probably even exponentially more scarce. If you look at even things that are serial numbered, you have so many serial number variations, the 299, the 199, the 99, all the way down the chain to the 101. Whereas, in most sets you had like it's serial numbered 1 out of 2K or it's 1 out of 5K. And if you go back and historically look at those cards, they are super expensive and they were very hard pulls.
That's interesting. So yeah, it's almost like the serial numbers were higher on average.
But there was only fewer variations of the card, I think, is the big comparison. So if you wanted something other than the base, you had very limited options.
Yeah, you have very limited options, whereas today you've got 50, 60 parallels for all the major sets. And then on top of it, they've added, when you look between 2020, 21, and 22, they add new inserts every year as well, which, they try and target this enough people that will find that design on the insert cool enough to make it collectible.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Neri, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I do think that they should. There's already so many sets. They should slow down on the parallels, and I think they should really make each product have a distinct desirability, even if it's a little more family friendly and on the pocketbook. You know what I mean? There should be something that maybe is just that much harder to pull, but it comes out of classic or it comes out of score, right? It doesn't have to be like this waste product that people buy just until something else comes out.
That's true.
What could be a good measuring tool also? I see you have Select pulled up. There's purple and there's orange that aren't serial numbered from both sets as well.
Purple and orange non-serial number just to get the color match element in there.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a purple out of 199. I saw you type that in. Purple and a Select.
Yeah, I was just looking for like something out of 199. I guess I could even take out purple. I just thought that would give it even more.
Purple Select is out of 49.
Okay. Yeah, and these are all autos out of 199. That's out of 50. PSA 10 for 200 and something. Man, either my internet's running slow or
Indy is the check the forget the color match for a second and just check like the out of 299 optics. They're both going to be like the turquoise, but they'll at least be like the highest serial numbered variety of the rated rookie.
Out of 299?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Okay. The Aqua. I got you. Justin Jefferson, 2020 optic.
So that's a 10 for 152. Wow, that's pretty spicy, man. Wow.
Also have the Wave, right? Well, obviously, Justin Jefferson's still way more.
There's a 10. Expensive. Third one down on Jefferson's side. There's a 10 right there.
Third one down on Jefferson.
Damn.
Yep, 450.
And there's
holy crap, dude! A raw one on ComC that went for $220 for Justin Jefferson at a 299. I mean, that's a massive, massive difference.
41. What? Dang, dude.
So I was, I know that's not bad at all for Chase, but I guess that it goes back to how many more rookie cards he has than Justin Jefferson. So that plays a pretty big role when we're talking about the card market. So earlier, Steve, I was doing a comparison between two of our favorite 1A receivers, Devonta Smith and T. Higgins. And I'm very excited to share some information that I've discovered with you from Reception Perception, who Matt Harmon, who does an incredible deep dive on these receivers and looks at their success rate against man coverage, press man coverage, zone coverage, also looks at their yak. So it looks at how good these guys are at an individual level, so you can find the talent before they break out, because essentially it's pinpointing a wide receiver to where if they just get the targets, if they just get more passing volume going their way, they are going to convert that into a lot of production. So I'm excited to share some of those findings that I had. But what I noticed is that Devonta Smith was incredible last year on the outside. He was dominant. He was much better than T. Higgins. In fact, he was number 9 amongst all his graded wide receivers in against man and press coverage, against zone coverage. I mean, he was just good all over the field. And if you saw his route tree, I mean, he was winning at all different sectors. But a lot of it was, you know, on the outside, it was going up and like post and corner routes. So it's really interesting to look at that data. And T. Higgins was good. Don't get me wrong. He was solid. His route tree is also very expanded, right? He wins in a variety of ways. He just wasn't quite as good as Devonta Smith was on an individual level. And so I'm like, with how and him going to Alabama in the Heisman Trophy, I was looking at his Prism Optic rookie ticket auto prices and noticing that there's a big difference. There's like a $30 or $40 difference between Devonta Smith and T. Higgins. So I was like, that to me easily says that I'm going to buy Devonta Smith and sell him around the price of T. Higgins. That's the case. But then I have guys remind me that the 2021 print run is a lot higher than 2020. So I have to be very careful with the cards that I compare from Devonta and T. Higgins.
I think that there's another aspect to this that we're not mentioning just yet. And, you know, these other guys from 2020 have a whole nother season under their belt as a basis of comparison. You know, Devonta Smith had a good first year, but he had a much better second year, but he didn't really turn it on until the last several weeks of the season. So, you know, there's some people that have already started tuning football out, you know, by that point of the season. And if you're one of the people that stuck around till the end and watched it all, you saw that's kind of when he really stepped into what we think he'll be this year. So maybe it might take another season or two for them to catch up in price. But Devonta Smith could make the argument that he's going to be the guy on this team, perhaps.
Well, I don't think he will, just because A.J. Brown is a top 3 wide receiver, in fact, in the league, according to Matt Harmon's reception perception at man coverage separation. He also had a career high zone coverage win rate last year as well. So, I mean, he was just dominating everywhere. And he finally, his route tree has expanded so much to where they're moving him around a lot before any given play, and they're moving him inside a lot, and he's just dominating. At a guy of his size with his yak ability, it's crazy how good of a wide receiver duo they have there, which is why I'm like, Jalen Hurts MVP season, here we come. Plus they've got to pass more this year, and Devonta Smith already last year had more receiving yards and more targets than T. Higgins. They tied in touchdowns for 7. But I just think that there's I think that Devonta Smith is going to have a monster season here. So, and I thought this was a very good comparison, because this is an elite wide receiver duo comparison right here that are very similar as well in draft class. You know, it's just a little bit different here with I guess A.J. Brown being 2019, Devonta Smith 2021. Then you have T. Higgins 2020 and Jamar Chase 2021.
The thing that's cool about these kind of discussions, Andy, is, you know, you can take either of these guys and make them the number one on quite a few teams in the league. So to have them on a team with another arguably, you know, top 3 receiver in the league is pretty wild.
It is pretty wild, man. So it's a Howie Roseman masterclass there in Philadelphia. I'm struggling to find a T. Higgins out of 99 here, bro, or 299.
Oh, the Aqua.
Oh, I didn't put in out of 299. It would help if I did out of 299. Trying to multitask on a Thursday night. I got to catch up with the chat too. Okay, here we go, Steve. All right, I'm starting to get some results.
That 27 is a great buy there.
27 PSA 9. We have a PSA 10 for Devonta that I would pull up on 130 point. It went over 100 for sure, like probably 125, 130. Okay. Devonta Smith. Wow, man, that one went for a lot.
Maybe that's only for the rookie ticket autos, Andy. Those are some big numbers there.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and that's what's so wild about the card market. There's a lot of nuance, right? I mean, you know, I do find this very interesting because T. Higgins, his optics stuff, I think could be undervalued. I mean, if that's the case, we have Justin Jefferson at a $50 optic holo. We have CeeDee Lamb still at a it's only like $25. You have T. Higgins here that this is out of $299. Is it because of the color? Is it because of the color clash here, Steve?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's not exactly green, but the Devonta Smiths are seemingly a lot more.
Yeah, his prices now they have gone up because here's a buy it now May 5th for $38. Now this isn't clicking into it to try and examine the condition, but and we may be dealing with a one-touch effect here as well. Gotta love that one touch because this sold for 95. I mean, that's a lot higher than that last one on May 5th.
That is I will admit, and anyone else that buys on eBay probably is in agreement that when you see a card in a one touch, it just looks better. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. I'm not getting 130 points, so we'll just all have to guesstimate on the on the best offers accepted here. But yeah, I'm excited to get into some drafts tonight, Steve. I'm also excited to see what deals we can find on eBay. So this was my big thing, and this is what's on the thumbnail. Do we pay up or pay down? Because basically this is what I want to figure out tonight while we're hopping in these underdog drafts. Before I catch up with the chat over here, basically we're in this little pocket right before training camp starts, and there's going to be a lot more tweets and news that come out about players. So right now, do we just pay down and focus on sleepers that we think, like speculate on total sleepers that could pop off in training camp and preseason kind of thing, or at some point this season? Or do we buy the known commodities, the known stocks like the T. Higgins and the Devonta Smith, that kind of thing? You know, and just pay up for those guys. No, even though that their markets have gone up probably 10 to 20%, generally speaking. You know, if we were using a comparative card, this is one of the key things we've been trying to figure out here. But their prices are definitely have gone up when I look at the more desirable cards, the rookie ticket autos and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to get your take, Steve. What do you think we should be doing right now?
I think, a mix of both. You don't want to have just a strategy, but like you just saw, there's some inefficiencies in the from set to set where you have player A is much more expensive in one set, but much less in the other set. You know, use that to your advantage because ultimately, you know, once football's in full gear, people are going to be looking for, you know, the hot cards, the liquid cards of that player. And you should see some like normalization across the board.
Yeah, normalization across the board, which leads me to their graded market when we try and, you know, at least take condition factors as a common denominator take condition factors out of it, you know. and I look at their graded markets, you have some interesting results. Sometimes I think this is dependent on the supply of what's available. It could also depend on the price point that the supply that's available is at. A big increase the past week over week in Daniel Jones buy it now sold volume. I think you can definitely kind of, for me, Steve, this tells me that people are speculating more on some deeper cut quarterbacks, that they're going back and looking at last year's numbers and kind of projecting for the season. They're placing bets. Obviously, quarterbacks drive the NFL markets. They drive the hobby in terms of getting the most attention. So it makes sense that that's where people kind of start. And you can see his graded card market up 214%.
Yeah, no, Daniel Jones is a great example, and we talked about him throughout the year last year, and he was, it went from a guy that people were like, "What are you guys nuts?" to, "Okay, maybe you're onto something," to, "Wow, he actually finished the season pretty good," and now you're seeing these numbers, which I think just reinforce the fact that, A, that was the correct play, and B, that other people are getting on board. It's only a matter of time until it's a potential wildfire. That's not the time you want to get in. It looks like there's still time now, but you want to get in before the group buyers, the mass buyers come in, because that's when you should be doing the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. So you can also see Kenneth Walker. Like, I was thinking Kenneth Walker may still be at value. He is not at value anymore, Steve. His cheapest rookie autos that I think are decent that you want to get into are now in that $50 range. So I was pretty impressed to see that. You can see his graded card market, although not big, surely, because he's only a second-year player. But still, you can see that those graded cards people are paying a premium for, up 300% week over week. Nick Chubb up 150% in buy it now. So, and if I look at just mass volume, that's going to show our most graded quarterbacks, most popular players. That's Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. They're all up. Joe Burrow's graded card market is up 20% in terms of buy it now sold volume over the past week, Steve, and a 5% increase in auction. So that's a great indicator right there to show you how the football card market is moving. The direction as a whole is up right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as you see, it's going to be QBs at the top as always. I think the one interesting one, though, is that the market slowed quite a bit on Purdy, which you kind of had to know what happened at some point. But, if you're a Niners fan, you got to be a little nervous about him starting the season.
Yeah, all the news have been good so far, but he is definitely leading that 2022 class. I'm almost tempted. What do you think about this strategy, Steve? Instead of trying to figure out if you should pay up or pay down, do you think it makes more sense to actually search for a specific set or maybe even a year? Is there a search term that you like to use on eBay that you feel will allow you to take what the market's given you, like just to kind of take the best deals that the market has at any given time? Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense. I wouldn't say I'm a A+ eBay search tooler by any means, but it doesn't hurt to have some specific searches saved on specific sets and players that you like. For example, I like Fields. All right. So I have Fields, 2021 Mosaic search, right? And then you can even take it a step further and say PSA 10, or you could change it to graded. So you only get graded results. So those are a couple of things that I use that are really helpful. But now that you have this pulled up, Andy, when you say what's the strategy here, I think looking at the Burrow and the Hurts, it's still pretty baffling to me that the gap is that big. That being said, I'm always a buyer on Burrow. It hurts at the buyer on Burrow at the right price, but I would also be a buyer on Hurts currently given his price.
Yeah, I'd buy him all day at 125. I mean, you guys know, but you guys see these spikes. The 235 is even going to be a legitimate transaction. This one, I think this 189. No, that's not mine. That was a 117. I sold mine somewhere in here for 175, and that's just look at how that card has stayed like that. I mean, we're like kind of at like a new normal right now for Jalen Hurts. I think you've got easy $200 to $250 potential in this card, especially when you look at Joe Burrow's range, like you mentioned. This is a clear playoff team with, potential MVP run in them this year. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. Between Herbert and Hurts, are we both going Hurts? I'm sure there's some people out there that are gonna go Herbert. I mean, he's only been incredible. Since his rookie year. And now they bring in Kellen Moore, spend a first-round pick on Quentin Johnson. Man, this could be a massive year for Justin Herbert.
We saw last year that they, I guess you could say, were a fringe playoff team by the end of the season. But I think what you have in the Bengals and Eagles are basically teams that are almost assured to make the playoffs and potentially go to the Super Bowl, against each other in many cases. So, what we know about QB values, that's kind of what you're looking for, right? Because that's when those prices will see their highs, not necessarily after, but on the lead up to it.
But do you think a good search result or a good search term to use to see if what the market could give you on any given time, like 2020 optic rookie auto and filter by autos at any given time? Or that's a little bit too specific though, because I am interested in rare non-auto cards as well. So
you may just have to make some more concise searches, like by player and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with not that there's a ton of graded O linemen, but you're going to end up with like really obscure guys in your search too that you're not looking for.
Like Justin Jefferson inspired custom slab case.
Yeah, just like that. And that's, let's see, 3,400 is a lot of results. But if you narrow it down and use a player, see like that optic, dude, that optic Herbert is really low, Andy.
What?
That is really low.
2 minutes? Did we just stumble on a juicy little one? Yeah, this looks clean, fellas.
That's it's gotten higher than 55 before several times. So.
What's going on with this seller though? I'm a little nervous. Okay, we got 130 past month. Nice to deal with. Ship from Japan.
So he just doesn't have a lot of transactions.
What's the shipping on this? Is it crazy?
That's an optic. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That is an optic, sir. I mean, this is an incredible value right now.
You know how I know that card so well, Andy? That was, I think I told you this story. When I got back into the hobby in 2020, that was the first big card I pulled out of a blaster. First blaster, I got that card. Still have
104 for his PSA 10 right now, about $100 for his PSA 10. Let's see what we'll see if we got a 9.5 SGC 9 PSA 9 $40 33.
That's
so
way down. If you have values from a year ago, I don't know how far back it goes, but it's much higher. There you go. I'm telling you, the raw ones, Andy, were over 55 for a long time. You could see there that they were probably as high as $80-$90 at some point.
So realistically, I just don't want to pay more than $30 for this card.
I think it goes for more than that, but I think that you could, if you can get it under 30, that's a hell of a buy, man.
It's at 2050. It's gonna shoot up. 2250, 26. Oh, somebody glitched up the system. 29.
Dang.
It did shoot up there at the end.
Bush said you'd be better off just buying the 9s. Yeah, I mean, if you can get them.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you can get a 9 for that cheap, yeah. Because worst case scenario, you can crack it out of the shell. Yeah, I do see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's $54, $55. I mean, there's a lot of buy nows at that price point that I'm sure sell. 29. Well, there you go. So the 2020 optic results. But see, at the same time, are you going to spend your time to do that for Brandon Ayuk? I think we both love Brandon Ayuk. He was also a guy that absolutely excelled big time last year, according to reception perception, in all types of different route trees. He was way better than Deebo Samuel in man coverage success rate. So and man press coverage. So he's definitely their number one wide receiver. Deebo ran a lot of screens. He ran the highest amount of screens in the NFL, the highest amount of sweeps, the highest amount of flats, like little out plays. And Brandon Ayuk's route tree is all over the place. It's all lit up. He's succeeding everywhere. I mean, this guy, that's why I love him. But, I mean, an optic for $1, are we really doing that? Is this the kind of thing you were talking about at the beginning of the stream where you're like, I want to take the $1 to $5?
Yeah.
Like, if you got a low bankroll, yeah. But I'm going to the National. I mean, it's going to be worth a penny at the National because of everybody's exquisite collection.
Sure. No, I get that. But, I agree that is a common mentality. But we talked about this a few weeks ago. There's a lot of people that roll up just for those value boxes, Andy. Value boxes are a massive play, man. And I'm not going to compare them to a garage sale find or anything, but people go to garage sales and find what people consider as undesirable items, and they move them for a massive profit. Base cards in general, yeah, naturally they're going to fetch less and they're going to have a lower desirability, but there's definitely still a value, especially when you're talking about a base optic. If you're talking about a base prism, right? If you're talking about a base, I don't know, select, playoff, whatever, like that's a massive difference. But in these sets that have much lower print runs and higher desirability, that's a big play. That's a nice one there.
Snipe alert, DeAndre Swift. I mean, if he's ever going to turn his career around, it's behind the best offensive line in the league with Jalen Hurts and Kenneth Gainwell to take the pressure off you, and maybe Rashad Penny too. But yeah,
Swift's
there you go, man.
The kind of guy that could just have the same season he had, last year, the year before, but he could also finally be used the way he should have been this whole time and finally snap off and, net you like total 1,500 scrimmage yards.
Steve, this is an interesting search result, man. I'm kind of digging it. We got the 2020 optic Jalen Hurts in 6 minutes, SGC 10 currently at $70. No bids on it. It's like nobody's wanting to touch it at 70.
Yeah, I like that, man. That seems pretty safe. I would think that the price is low. I would think in a PSA slab, it's probably pretty comparable, maybe around 110. 110.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. Well, okay, so yeah, 110 for that. Let's see if we got some prior data on the SGC. We do have a little bit. It's kind of all over the place. The SGC 10, I'll say the BGS 10 200. We know that's going to go for even higher, but 70, 66 average, it looks like on the, average of 66, but you have a 168.11 52-week high, which is pretty impressive. You also have a couple, look at the playoffs. You had a couple $100 transactions at the beginning of the season. You had a 114. Oh, that was a SGC 10 gold label. That 168. So,
what, Andy,
I guess you're looking at the peak about 100 for that.
The thing is that you don't really get a fair comparison because there's so few. There's so few that we're comparing. I mean, how many SGC 10s were in that chart? Only a handful. You know what I mean? So there's definitely going to be most of those sales could have happened at an inopportune time compared to the PSA ones, which have like a higher frequency of sale because there's more of them. I think 70 is a good price. If you're going to put it in a buy it now format, there won't be as much of a disparity between that and PSA as you think.
Man, I love this card. I want it, but I can see why it's not moving at 169. This is what the person should get for it, but it may not be till a few weeks into the season. J.K. Dobbins is still one of my favorite running backs.
I think.
Don't think that's going to get a bid.
James you guys were showing off some stuff in the live you had going in the Discord last night. I think James sniped me on an Ayuk pen pals purple ink. I saw that he won that one, man. I was bidding on that one too, man. It's a great card.
Well, it's time to seek your revenge, man. Let's hop into it. We'll keep an eye on some of these auctions. Definitely not Jalen Reagor.
$2 for a optic preview Gibson. That seems it'd be hard to lose on that.
Yeah, I see where your mind's
at. For a Jonathan Taylor PSA 10.
That's definitely a watch. Yeah, optic. How much would you be willing to pay for that while also still feeling like you've got upside in the car? Jonathan Taylor's rookie auto market, I'll tell you, it starts out around $50, man. It's not – I thought it was going to be lower, but it's not at all.
You could probably bid 25 and still have a chance to win and leave you a ton of room to grow on it.
Yeah, as graded markets are down a little bit, not much. They're already pretty low, so it's like they don't really have much room. The optic must be. I wonder what the pop count is on this optic. Not a lot of transactions on it, huh?
No, there was a Donruss way up there, but I haven't seen the.
Yeah. Let me see. So here's your optic preview. I know you love those optic previews. I know a lot of guys that love those optic previews, man. They're pretty sweet cards.
There's one.
There it is. It's only got a pop of 171, dude.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he was money. Yeah, he was money coming into last season, and he's just tanked all the way since. So he had a couple. Let's see who this one is. Okay. Yeah, I've got a confirmed $70. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much buying in at the bottom here. So I was actually looking to get some exposure to JT as well, man. Let's see what that Swift ended for. Wow, that Swift ended for just $23.55, Steve. That was a good deal, I think.
We know
nobody bid on the Dobbins. Yeah, just a little too high right now.
The Eagles fans are great loyal fans to their skill position guys, and if he pans out, that's definitely a card you want to have.
So this is me because, like, if I'm gonna try and get this card, I'm just gonna go ahead and put in my bid, Steve, because I'm just gonna do 3101 and hope that. Let's see. Anyways, because now, like, I mean, it's draft time, and instead of me messing with that until it ends, like having to bid at the last couple seconds, I just go ahead and put in what I want to put max pay for it and be done with it, you know?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. He, obviously probably a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth that maybe bought into him during his insane rookie year, but look at the team itself was just in shambles last year, and you got to have a better feeling about it this year, regardless of what QB starts. You got to think that they're going to be much, much better.
So a couple quick announcements. I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat and catch up with the chat here. But just to make sure everybody knows, we are going to be at the National in just 2 weeks' time, Steve. 2 weeks' time. We are trying to set up a football card trade night, a Quest football card trade night on Saturday night at the National. But I really need to know how many people are potentially going, because I might reserve a bigger space if I know that 20 or more people are going. Right now, I know at least 10 to 15 people are confirmed for Saturday night trade night. But if there's anybody else out there, make sure you definitely leave a comment. Let me know somehow on any of the social media platforms. And at the same time that you're smashing that like button for this live stream, right, Steve?
Yeah, man. And just if you have my number, if you're one of my local guys here and you're watching, Neri, if you're out there, if you're planning to go and want to meet up with us on Saturday night, shoot me a message.
Yeah, for sure. Let me say hi to Derek. We got Messiah. Got our usual suspects out there. Late stick. They're ragging on me for starting late. My bad, guys. I was going down a reception perception rabbit hole, and before I know it, I look up. It's 9 o'clock. Steve messaged me twice, like, "Hey, man, where's the link? Are we having a live stream? What's going on here, dude?" And I'm like, "Oh crap! I'm on the clock. So yeah. Oh, Chad Dyer, 3X Geno Smith flip just went down 20 to 75. People, they buy in. Yes, Chad is the man. Bob just popping in. What's good, Boggy? Oh, I got other big announcement. I shared it on got the hobby box in 2023 Chronicles. And you know what, Steve? All those guys are $199 or higher, and to get free shipping. So of course I had to buy something else, but I'm like, I didn't want to buy a blaster box or something. I didn't really want to buy a Leaf product. So what I did was I just
Did you buy yourself a little something?
No, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, to be honest with you, man. There's the 2023 Chronicles draft picks. And I got a 2022 Optic hobby. It's not a true hobby box, though.
Is it like one of those hybrid boxes?
It was considered a retail box, whatever that means. I think it's like a retail hobby box. I don't think they have mega boxes anymore, or maybe this took the place of a mega box. But this was definitely more than a mega box. This was like $175. But I was like, $20 shipping. I'm basically getting this for $155, and then it was on sale. So it was already on a sale to $175, and then I got another 20 off basically because of the free shipping. So I looked at it as a pretty nice win.
Very cool.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Do I bring it to the National, do like a live rip and do something with the cards, or do I try and use this as trade bait or something at the National?
We'll have
or
to.
do I
we'll
rip it right now, Steve? Rip it open.
I'm ripping it right now. I don't know, man.
Itching, man.
Oh man, it's been a minute since I picked up any wax, so I definitely got the itch myself too. But we got a little time. We can think about it between now and the coming weeks.
What news did I miss today? I'm sure I missed some news today. I've had my head to the grindstone all day today. Child number 10 for Philip.
Hey man, he's still doing it, just off the field now. That's all.
Oh yeah, Tiger Stripes.
And Jacobs potentially missing the beginning of the offseason.
Oh, due to contract negotiations.
It says plans to skip the beginning of training camp if they don't reach a long-term deal by Monday's deadline. Jets Quinn Williams signed a 4-year, $96 million contract. We knew that was coming. Oh, Brett Holmes, Lions GM, said Jahmyr Gibbs is a multi-purpose elite weapon. I think we kind of knew that.
Stop. Brad Holmes needs to stop talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. No more Jahmyr Gibbs tweets, please. Please, I need to snipe some more Jahmyr Gibbs. I haven't even got my first rookie auto that I ordered. It's in the mail somewhere. We better hop in this draft. I'm about to go reach on somebody. Somebody is. Let's see. Are you ready to hop into an underdog draft, Steve? Or is there any more important news that I missed from today?
That was pretty much it. I think I said earlier about Saquon potentially holding out if he doesn't get something sorted out by next week. So hard to say how long that'll last. It may not end up happening at all, but obviously something to at least be on the lookout for, especially if you have him in a league or are thinking of drafting him.
Some people get the itch for ripping hobby boxes. I get the itch for sniping singles, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, this is what I'm telling you. We got to get into a draft, because if not, I'm gonna go down another rabbit hole looking for Jahmyr Gibbs cards, because I know there's a lot of draft pick Chronicles.
Just wait till Elite comes out and you'll be picking up those pen pals, Jahmyr Gibbs.
You know, I'm kind of tempted to get a 1-of-1. I'm not gonna lie here. It might be Leaf Metal, but it does have that little Leaf XRC, shield. It's encased by Leaf, so I feel pretty good about the condition. Serial numbered 1-of-1, and I've seen these cards for Devonta Smith, for who was I looking at? Jonathan Taylor. These cards go for at least 30 to 40. Like, their player in that tier, the card will go for 30 to 40. So I think if Jahmyr Gibbs delivers at least like mid-second round fantasy type numbers, so we're talking RB1, maybe on the back end of RB1, maybe just like RB8, some type of range, I think a card like this does pay off. Steve, what say you?
I'm torn, because the potential outcomes for Jahmyr Gibbs are pretty polarizing as far as what his usage could be. The other thing I would point out is I don't know everything about these Leaf Metal cards, but I can tell you that this card is not a card per se as much as it is a pre-production proof. You can see it at the top. So there's not a card number. There's not a back of the card. So it is a 1-of-1. It is an auto. It does appear to be a trading card. But if you look at, let's say, that one under it, Andy, it will have a number on the back. It will have a card description on the back. Oh, they don't have a picture of the back of the card, of course.
No back. Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not, again, that's not my specialty, but I do know that there's a distinct difference between the two.
Don't you love it? So much nuance in the sports card market. I find it fascinating because I do feel like something like this I'm going to watch. It's numbered out of 10. This has clearly just been released out of Chronicles here. And I like it because now we're talking licensed product. Look at that beautiful RC shield up there in the top right. And check that out. Nice, super rare serial number right on the front, you know? So, I mean, what I feel like if I can get this for $20 or under, I'm in a really good spot.
Yeah,
because this card for Bijan is, I don't know, probably $50 card.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by. We do know that the Chronicles stuff does have an inflated value before the pro uniform stuff comes out. So I think you'll be looking for like like the Spectra short print variations and some
this
of the other like
right here, brother.
Yeah, that is
college tickets. College tickets are fire.
The nice thing about those too is people will still want those even when the pro uniforms come out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because you've got the official rookie card shield, you've got the contenders ticket design, which I didn't get time to do, but I really want to do this next week. Steve, remind me next week. We got to do this. We got to pull up every year rookie ticket auto. I'm going to put it on a graphic so we can compare. We can get a vote from the audience on which one's the best aesthetically, and we can look at some value. We can look at numbers in between each year. I'll pick a guy from each year that I think are comparable, and I think that would be a lot of fun to go from 2017 to 2022. Gaby Sports Cards, I was talking to him on Twitter earlier. He thinks that 2021 is an anomaly, the way they added the QR and barcode to the side. They did some funky things in 2021. He thinks it sticks out like a sore thumb, and not in a good way. So he thinks he likes 2022 a lot better. 2020, there's a lot more similarities in the actual design. So I'm wondering how good this design right here will do. I think it looks great.
It reminds me a lot more of the older rookie ticket autos, which I think are nice. But I'm not opposed to any of the sets. I think they look good, and I think it's good that they did more horizontal rookie ticket autos to maybe kind of normalize them a bit more.
All right, without further ado, we say what's up to Filthy and Hector in the house. James, what does he got here? 2 minutes, Devonta Smith, Donruss, Elite, Pen Pals, Purple Otter. Ooh, purple. Let's go. Let's go. Colvu, you guys ready? I am just scrolling to the bottom of the chat. I'm sorry if there's something. Steve, if you find something, or hour in and no draft, seriously. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get drafting. Come on. Let's draft, baby. Underdog Fantasy, the fast puppy. We're going to go ahead and get this thing. This thing's going to fill up quick. It's one thing I love about Underdog Fantasy. The drafts fill up really quick, and you got a chance to win a lot of money while also drafting against your friends. All right, you ready? I'm going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter the puppy. Decent sized tournament here, Steve.
I think I got in the same one. Let's see.
111,000 entrants. First place, 75 grand. Second, 40. You can see the prizes. They get pretty steep. We are drafting against a 12-person league right now. So just like your season-long home fantasy leagues, except Underdog is going to take this big roster that you draft here and just optimize each positional category: 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, a tight end, and a flex, and give you the most amount of points every week and accumulate that up and see if you advance to the next round, if you can beat the majority of the people in your 12-person league. And then finally in week 17, this one's a 114-person final roster pool. So you're going to compete against another 114 rosters, which is why we want to look at differentiating ourselves and looking at trying to stack the best week 17 matchups. So we're going to be talking a lot about week 17 as we go through this. So that's everything we love about Underdog Fantasy. The final thing is, with promo code QUEST, when you sign up, you get a 100% instant deposit bonus. And the Quest gets a little bit of kickback. It goes a long way to helping us grow. So definitely check out UnderdogFantasy.com. Seven's already gone. Justin Jefferson. Steve, you got the 1.2, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know if
we got Bush Leaguers. We got a Bush Leaguers lurking out there.
We got a bunch of people in here.
Got Late Stick at the 5, A113, Chopper in the car. Got Filthy at 1.8, Derek at the 1.9. I'm still working on getting one of those little shields. I know you want one too, Steve.
I'm on my way, man. I know you were talking about it yesterday. I think we both probably have, we just kind of hopped on the Underdog train last year, but I already, at the beginning of July, have more drafts done than I did all of last season. So let's go.
I know, man. I'm so more dialed in this year than I was even last year. And last year I did feel like I was very dialed in, but I feel even more dialed in this year. So much so I'm almost memorized the week 17 schedule. Not completely. And I'm not completely immune to auto picking here at the turn at the 112. But I should have an easy go of it because I'm double tapping and then I get to talk for a while and hang out. So we might be okay.
All
right, we're on the clock. Got a pick here. Oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with ADP. I'm going to go with both of these two studs.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, who forget who it was? Rhino in the Discord chat was asking me my take on Amon-Ra, because if you look at his route tree, it is a lot of shorter routes, a lot of slants, and curls and dig routes and stuff. And his success rate against like press man coverage is not the best. I think what they were doing good last year with him was a lot of like easier routes. Like they kind of designed it around him and set him up to get open pretty quick. And then he earned a lot of yards after catch. So I know he's not like elite as an individual player, right? And that's a big reason why he didn't go until the 4th round. But the guy's work ethic is incredible. His toughness, his just desire to be the best is incredible, and that goes a long way. And he's gonna earn like over 100 target. I was thinking he could earn closer to 125 in 1,500 yards. Rhino was saying he'd need to get 150 targets, he felt, to get 1,500 yards. So, you know, I think he's going to be somewhere in there, Steve. That's just that's my projection.
Work on his deeper routes this year, so that's a pretty big deal, and I think he continues to get better. And you know what? At the end of the day, the route tree analysis and all that is fine and dandy, but if he continues to put out his expected points that he's projected for, that's ultimately whether he did it against a weaker DB or a better DB. You only care if he gets the points or not, right? The mismatches are acceptable when you're talking fantasy.
Hey, our main Eagles fan in the house, Filthy Collector, gets the stack, baby. Filthy gets the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack.
Yeah.
So juicy. Derek went Bijan Waddle. Derek back taking Bijan at the 1.9, a total believer here of Bijan in the 1st round. Interesting. Now it's important to remember that week 17 stack, right?
Let's see there. Lions and Cowboys.
Yep. So you got the Falcons at the Bears in week 17. You can probably get, he may be trying to set up a DJ Moore, Justin Fields stack with Bijan Robinson. I think that would be a really juicy one. The Miami Dolphins have a great matchup at the Ravens. That game, when they played last year, went nuclear, dude. Nuclear. So there's fireworks there. I love that Dolphins and Ravens matchup for sure. The Lions got the Cowboys, so it's like you feel great about that one too, That matchup last year was great. And then you got Devontae Adams, who is just I mean, he's basically the best individual wide receiver in the game. So just put him anywhere, anytime. Just watch him do his thing. He's going to get his points, right? And he could go nuclear. Where's the Raiders? Colts. At the Colts. Okay, so I could be thinking about an Anthony Richardson or Jonathan Taylor. He's gone. He goes mid-second. We could be thinking about an Anthony Richardson. So I'm gonna be thinking about either completing more Lions or stacking or bringing back Colts and sprinkling in players from other high implied point total matchups on this spreadsheet. Like the run game for Texans Titans, I think is very juicy. Like Dameon Pierce is a guy that I'm totally after here in the like the running back dead zone, I guess you will, or whatever. For me, this is the dead zone right here, like in the 4th round. I think that the 6th through 9th round is a lot better for running back. Even right now, I'm looking at a lot of guys super late, Steve, that I like the running backs there. So,
agreed. I usually try to go a little heavier receiver early. That seems to be the go-to strategy this year, but it seems like the range of outcomes for receivers and running backs tends to switch like every other season. So that may be what people are doing right now, but maybe not the most optimal play. I guess we'll see. But there's definitely, if you go too heavy at running back early, there's definitely a wasteland for receivers if you get a little too late in the game.
Yeah, like it's interesting to see what this Jewish McCaffrey does. Derek says, great name, by the way. Yeah, that's solid. Let's see. Man, I mean, just look at all these wide receivers on my rankings here. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin this time over these guys. Who play the 49ers. Actually, they play the 49ers in week 17, if I remember correctly. So I could easily go Deebo Samuel here. Yeah, 49ers, Commanders. So let's go ahead and just double tap. I kind of want to get Ayuk, though. Where's he at? Or would that be a reach? No, I'm gonna reach on him here. I'm just pumping the ADP up because he's not going to come back to me, man.
If you were in this draft, he'd be strangling you right now.
Oh, yeah, because I just sniped him. I just sniped somebody, but you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna. Hey, you gotta have bold takes like that to win, right? I just made this roster very unique because at the 1-2 turn, I can get a stack like Amon-Ra, Devontae, but then I can also get, at the what I just did at the 3-4 turn, I reached on a guy that would never come back to me. So I went ahead and took him now. He's never going to come back to me at the end of the 5th, and let Deebo go to my opponent here, Swimothy.
No, that's
him and I are just like
it's definitely viable. I mean, there's you can say, oh well, you can only take the best ADP guys that come up at your turn. Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing about that is that's probably what most people are doing, right? So if you're looking for a little bit more of a unique sheet, you can reach a little bit. Obviously you don't want to go several rounds, but if there's a guy you think makes your team better and he makes your team more unique and you're high on him, I don't think that was too big of a reach given everything we talked about.
Well, thank you, Steve. I feel much better about.
Now, will he be catching passes from Darnold or Purdy?
Well, the thing is, I was going to go Deebo, so I was pretty much convinced myself. I guess I could have gone with Drake London or Jerry Jeudy, but I look at Ayuk as having a very similar upside to the rest of these guys. Sure, I could have pivoted. Now I could have gone is taking Kenneth Walker or Jahmyr Gibbs there. That does make a lot of sense to get a running back, but I was going to go with the true zero RB, do the bring back with the Commanders, Terry McLaurin, and that for me, I'd rather go with Brandon Ayuk in that situation, thinking that by the end of the season, I mean, already finished last season that way. I think it's just going to continue to progress in his career. I mean, this 2020 receiver class is just insane.
I think that, obviously Deebo had a down year last year, but I think that he actually outperformed. And I think he will outperform Deebo again this year.
And now I've also created significant because how often is Brandon Ayuk falling 10 spots? If anything, I'm seeing him go at ADP or a little bit up. I wouldn't be surprised to see him continue to creep, So it's like I don't see him falling 10 spots, especially on look at all these rosters that have only taken 1 to 2 wide receivers. I don't see him falling. I think they pivoted because I took a guy like Ayuk here. I don't see him falling at all.
Yeah, I was talking to Derek about that last night too. If there's a guy that I really want for my team and he makes sense and he won't be there when I take my next turn, there is sometimes a a proper decision to be made.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what you got going on here. I love that. There goes J.K. Dobbins in the 5th. It's like he's not falling either at this point. I think you could see Aaron Jones has definitely fallen a little bit. I mean, but it's wild that you can get a talent and a running back with the opportunity share of Aaron Jones in the 5th round. It's a great pick by Late Stick, but it's wild that you can actually get that in the 5th round when we're way past that when you look at the wide receivers. So now it's like, all right, can I find me a Dameon Pierce? You know, can I find me a running back talent that can equal the same output as like an Aaron Jones or potentially one of these other guys? Alexander Madison. Wow, I am not that high on Alexander Madison, but there are some total. So yeah, perfect example. Look, there's Dameon Pierce. I'm gonna get him, and then I think I'm gonna double tap Steve, Miles Sanders, Rachaad White. Miles Sanders plays for Carolina. Give me some. He's gonna get a ton of volume, dude. I also have Pittman, which is an interesting Colts player. I'm going to do Pittman. And this is why I went Pittman. He's very good as an individual wide receiver. He's virtually on the field 100% of the time. They actually, Steve, I don't know if you know this, but I learned this from Reception Perception once again. I learned so much from them about the way these wide receivers are used. So Michael Pittman was used more moving him around the field to discern what type of coverage the defense was running, while Alec Pierce was actually their stationary outside guy that would go on more of these outbreaking routes, whereas Michael Pittman was used a lot more all over, and his success rate against man coverage, press coverage, it was good, man. He's up there. Like, I think he was even ahead of T. Higgins. So, like, from an individual standpoint, in terms of getting separation and route running and his, I guess his depth of knowledge in running routes is very good, man.
You know,
it's a matter of like
he's done pretty well considering what he's had to work with. So I mean, if they can get some competent quarterback play, I'm curious. You know, I've been high on him. I know you've been high on him too. But I mean. Is Anthony Richardson the answer? I don't know, but if Minshew gets to play, I think you see a lot of more efficiency out of all the receivers.
Yeah. So check this out. This is the kind of stuff that I don't think he would mind if I showed you guys just one of his things, because I think he posts these on Twitter too from time to time. And I'm promoting his website, right? So shout out to receptionperception.com. But this is the kind of stuff that he puts together, and you can see the type of routes. The green, this means that he's succeeding on those routes. That's how well he succeeded last year on these routes. So you can see the type of in-breaking routes that he's been doing and just dominating, playing really good. See, this is success by route in 2022, and this is his route percentage. So this is on the right is showing you how often he ran these different kinds of routes. So he ran a lot of in-breaking routes, slants, curls, and digs. So he's a guy they move from outside to inside, kind of try and figure out what the defense is doing, and then but look at where he's succeeding. I mean, he's succeeding all over the field, and these are much easier passes to complete, the in-breaking ones, than the out-breaking ones.
I just saw Javonte go at 73, Andy.
And he's a big dude.
Not Javonte
Williams?
That was Jameson Williams. Either way, that is a massive. I won't say reach, but it's definitely a sizable ADP reach.
Yeah, let's see what he's kind of done. He's Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, then he pivoted when Josh Allen, Joe Mixon, Bengals, his only running back. Now he's got Hawkinson, Cooks, and Williams. Yeah, I mean it's okay. I'm interested to see the correlate. I mean, it's kind of tough to draw some correlation there when Cincinnati plays the Chiefs. That's like the marquee, highest implied point total matchup for Week 17. I do like he's got Dallas and Detroit there. Minnesota Vikings play the Packers. So you got Packers at Vikings. The Bills. And you do have to kind of consider weather as a factor also in Week 17, Steve. I mean, you're in Chicago. What is Week 17 like in Chicago?
Well, it could be 30 or it could be 20 below. I mean, that's pretty much the range. So let's see where Andy's going here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna continue to get a lot of exposure to Isaiah Pacheco here if he's out there. Now the question is, I don't have. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I mean, I'm gonna continue to multiply my exposure. The thing is, let's just do it. Yeah, I don't want to get auto picked. I'm gonna avoid the auto pick here and go with David Montgomery, but I was seriously considering pivoting.
You're drafting him at the percentage I was drafting him last year, but I think it's even more warranted this time around.
Yes, 5 picks past ADP. I've got Amon-Ra. Now I can go ahead and target Jared Goff, who goes in this single quarterback format, goes at pick 130, right? And I got myself a nice little solid. You only have to start 2 running backs. So it's actually like I'm in a really good spot compared to the wide receiver talent that I've already accumulated.
Yeah, you start 2 with the possibility of a third at the flex. Swift going 10 or more spots past ADP. Interesting.
Let me pull up the draft board and get caught up with the chat. I gotta figure out what you guys are doing over here. Chat's been pretty quiet, man. They've been focused on the draft, either that or sniping eBay. Sanders Pierce, not a bad double tap. Yeah, I did. I passed on Miles Sanders. I just felt like, I guess it worked out too with Isaiah Pacheco and Montgomery coming back. Sanders is going to get a ton of volume. So I went with the correlation, Steve, on Week 17 with Michael Pittman, thinking maybe I'll snag Anthony Richardson, and then got Devontae Adams on the other side. Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman combo this year. This could be very dangerous, I think.
Late stick grabs Tua.
So what's late stick cooking up over here? Jordan Addison. Yeah, I already tried to get some of his Chronicles draft picks too, Steve, and they're not at the bottom. Let's put it that way. They're probably the same as Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe a little bit more even, believe it or not. But yeah, I like these wide receivers that he's picked. Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, Christian Kirk, Breece Hall sprinkled in there, Aaron Jones, Treylon Burks, Jordan Addison, now Tua to go with Tyreek. I mean, that's nice. That's nice. Filthy went AJ Brown. Let's see what he's been up to since the epic Philly stack. Najee, which the Steelers are, man, I swear I just wrote. Can't quite remember. Seahawks, that's right. Seahawks. Steelers are playing the Seahawks. Got ETN on Jacksonville. They're playing the Panthers. The Panthers Week 17. Yep. Got it. Got to start quizzing myself, Steve.
Yeah,
Mike
I'm
Williams.
fairly confident that within a week or two you'll have them by the national. You'll have them all memorized.
Chargers are playing the Broncos. I know this. Washington is playing the 49ers. Jahan Dotson. That's a sneaky play right there in the 6th. He's good. Darren Waller and the Giants. And the Giants, Steve. Oh, man, who are they playing? Forgot about the Giants.
You got me, man.
The Rams.
That's
because it's a sneaky blow-up matchup that nobody's really talking about. If Matthew Stafford is healthy and Cooper Kupp is healthy, there is no stopping that duo from scoring touchdowns. Their defense is porous like Swiss cheese, man. So it's going to be easy for Daniel Jones and that Brian Daboll offense to put up points. That's a shootout game, dude. That is a game worth targeting for sure.
I think the thing that's worth noting when you're focusing on end of the season matchups is what is that game going to mean to that team, right? Because if the risk is if that team is locked in, home field and everything, if they're that good, they're that far ahead, there could be some negative implications. But if they're a fringe playoff team, like you mentioned, the Giants and Rams, that could be a potential massive shootout. You could have the starters on the field for the entire game. You know, people putting their bodies on the line for those extra yards. Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement.
Do you think Darren Waller is going to lead the Giants in targets this year? Or do you think it's going to be a guy like Paris Campbell or Saquon Barkley had a pretty good amount of targets last year? What do we think we're looking at here?
Targets or efficiency? Here's the thing about Waller. He might lead the team in receiving touchdowns, but I don't think he'll lead the team in reception. He's just been invisible.
Yeah. Paris Campbell was good. He was good on deep and out in breaking post routes. So deep, those deep slants over the middle, screens. Kadarius Toney was also very good on screens. Deebo Samuel was the best on screens and deep. And then he runs like those kind of man beater. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hey, Dylan. Dak is available. Yeah. We could take Dak. That'll buy us some time because we've got that Detroit Cowboys matchup. And then we could also take that. Well, I don't have any. I don't know why I would do that. Whoops. That was an auto pick.
You got to star him up, man. Star him up.
I did star him up. Guess who I got? Jared Goff. I went ahead and double tapped quarterback. I reached on Jared Goff 20 picks, but how much do you want to bet he wasn't going to come back to me?
No, that's fine. And aren't they? Isn't that the Week 17 matchup?
That is the Week 17 matchup. It's the Cowboys. I forgot I had him start up from a couple where I saw it at the last second. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to get auto pick Jared Goff. That's an auto pick, but at least I had a guy start up. Otherwise, I would have ended up with Jacoby Myers, and I really would have been crying on the stream.
Not a bad pick. I mean, you've got other Lions. Montgomery gets a lot of catches. Clearly, Amon-Ra is the obvious number one there, so that's not.
Yeah, got him. Bing,
you could say it's a reach. I don't think it's a reach. It may have been an unofficial auto pick, but I think we'll give you the pass on that one.
I don't have a lot of Cowboys to come back with. Maybe I can get Michael Gallup. Maybe we could throw. I don't know. Man, wish old Jalen Tolbert would get some playing time. Yeah, Michael Gallup's really the only one I'm interested in, unfortunately. Maybe I'll pick one of these backup running backs. Like, I just think I think there's, Zeke signs a low end deal. He just has to suck up his ego and take a big pay cut. They kind of make amends. He comes back. But there's always a chance for one of these later guys to get playing time. Even Ronald Jones. But the targets are pretty consolidated there. I really don't want to go past Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup does have decent upside.
Derek says, "I'm just trying to make you feel better."
What happened? I gotta get caught up with the chat. Strikes again. Where's the sound? Where's the sound effect? Yep. That's the one. Steve, I thought you were supposed to have that on auto play whenever. I thought you had the easy button for that one.
Am I going to need to get a stream deck here too so I can enforce these auto picks?
You have a lot of nerve. You have a lot of nerve.
All right, let's see where we're at here.
Let's see if I can't just. Oh, are you on the clock?
I'm on the clock here.
Good old goat scream for you. To see
Where
if
are we
that'll
going
distract you.
here? I am
Juju Smith-Schuster. So you remember that year where Juju Smith-Schuster was so dominant in his rookie year? The reception perception profile is pretty interesting on Juju Smith-Schuster.
He's got he's not. I don't think he's the most electric or exciting in the league anymore, but he plays an interesting role in an offense, especially that offense that pretty much lacks big playability.
Let's see what the Chiefs did with him last year.
He had a pretty good year. I think he had about $160 as far as points.
Yeah, he did. He ran a lot of in-breaking routes, a lot of short slants, in-breaking curls, in-breaking digs, like intermediate dig routes. Those were the bulk of his routes. He ran a couple of flats. He ran 8% flats to the outside, which he actually did really well on. He had an 83% success rate. Patrick Mahomes was really good at lasering it to the outside too. And he had 100% success rate on screens, in breaking slants, in breaking curls and digs. Yeah, but he did not do good on any out breaking or deep route. So it was all short and intermediate routes where he succeeded. So
he also
I think that's where you'll see
faded
him.
into obscurity as the midway point of the season came around. I wouldn't say obscurity, but his big games kind of stopped happening.
All right, let's see here. I'm back on the clock, brother. What pick are we at now here? Let me scroll this bar over. I'm just to see the number. Yeah, okay. I'm right in Michael Gallup range. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of a Cowboy stack. Now we do have 6 wide receivers. I want to start backing the truck up on running backs. Man, Roshan Johnson or Kendre Miller. Now with I think I'm going to go Roshan here. That's close for me. But now with the news on Alvin Kamara, actually, where did Alvin Kamara go? Let's see.
Probably.
I'm gonna look him up.
6th or 7th round, probably.
ADP of 99. Let's see where he went in this draft.
He went.
Actually, he went at pick 100. He
Oh,
did.
yeah?
He did not go up. Bushleaguer's got a great pick on. See, Bushleaguer's went Michael Thomas and Kamara after getting Hopkins, Tony, Goddard. Started off running back heavy here. Austin Eckler, Patrick Mahomes got the elite quarterback, but Tony Pollard, love that in the 3rd. Wow, great pick. Kenneth Walker coming back in the 4th. Yeah, solid, man. You got incredible running back depth on your team. Now with adding Alvin Kamara in the 9th, Rondale Moore, Dalton Kincaid. I don't know about the Rondale Moore and Dalton Kincaid pick here at ADP. Not on board with those guys this year, but at that price point. But hey, I love your running back core.
Let's see here. Filthy with the Russ pick.
Rashee Rice. Do we think Rashee Rice is going to contribute in any type of significant way for the Chiefs? I mean, I feel like every year there's somebody that we try and speculate is going to emerge as more of a consistent pass catcher.
Yeah, that's
outside of Travis Kelce.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of vacated targets. It's just a matter of who's going to take. But I think it's unfortunately like a 3-man free for all for the available targets.
So, reception perception does have a profile on Rashee Rice as well. He, going to SMU, he does see that there is talent there. He thinks he's a fine day 3 sleeper from the draft. It's just that the moments come in flashes when watching him play. It's not super consistent. He lined up outside 83% and was on the line of scrimmage 70%. He thinks that's probably his optimal position in the NFL if a team can get the best out of him as a vertical option. 27% of his routes at SMU were vertical routes, like deep vertical routes. So, if anything, I guess maybe he would have to earn more of a role over Marquez Valdes-Scantling on the outside, running those. I'll tell you, Marquez Valdes-Scantling is bad. If we look at his success rate,
that guy is not exactly a model of consistency, unfortunately. But he will have all of those guys at some point are going to have massive games throughout the year, but they're not going to be consistent on a week-to-week basis. So that's a good argument for, having them in this format, but maybe not in like a redraft league.
I don't even think he did I don't think he did a reception perception for him. He even did one for Scantling.
Oops.
No, I think it's like he's too low down in the rankings to even waste your time on. It's kind of what I got out of it.
So just going off the board here. Bush grabs Cole Kmet. Nice.
Aha!
Don't worry, guys. The no God no sound effect may be coming. I don't know.
Let's take a look at
It's
Andy's.
almost about time for me to do a little digging on eBay to see what some stuff. There goes MVS. Derek took him just for the sake of it. I see he's got Jarek McKinnon too.
KJ Osborne.
I see a little Arizona Pittsburgh stack going there. Okay, all right. Back on the clock, Steve. We don't need to go all the way to 214 right now. Carr is out there. Guess I'm not. Oh wait, I don't need Carr per se.
You might want to start. You got a couple seconds.
Yeah, that was a rapid fire pick. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start getting some tight ends here. Man, I should have gone both tight ends. I kind of want to get. I'm not opposed. Screw it. Yeah, I'll get Jasicki. It's kind of torn there between getting Laporta and getting Jasicki.
Let's see where Jewish McCaffrey goes. Mr. Mims. I know that's a guy that you're really into this year, Andy.
Yes, sir. Filthy representing my favorite late round running back. Oh, man. I hope you didn't get busted, Bush Leaguers. Good luck. Star him up in between hands.
Derek getting one of my homeboys, Alec Pierce. Very nice.
Yeah, well, okay. So it was a pretty balanced roster from Derek this time. Waddle in the second. You know what I'm going to do? Let's see. When this draft is about to end, we'll see if Carter's still streaming.
Is he drafting tonight?
He's trying to get the reps in for mediocre fantasy. He's trying to get better. He's really trying to get better at fantasy football this year. And I think he said if his live stream ended early, he would draft with us.
All right.
Oh, I almost exited out of. No, we're still in the stream. Okay. Oh, a sit and go. Okay. All right, Bush Leaguers. He just took it down. Look at him. Bush Leaguers just took down a nice little sit and go. Whew. $3.50 an hour. That's insane. He said Derek does classes on Tuesday evening, $3.50 an hour. He helps you memorize week 16 and week 15. And he knows the draft capital spent on every player ever.
Are we going to have, Andy, are you going to make some week 17 flashcards?
Filthy wants to know, can he pay the $3.50 in Tony rookie cards? Depending on who you're talking to, that's not very many. That's only a couple. You know, like if Jonathan Taylor cards was holding a class, you could just probably give him a couple. He'll be totally satisfied with that as payment, and be good to go. Derek says he doesn't get off the couch for less than $500 an hour. All right, so what's the plan here, Steve? You go Tyquan Thornton. After I went Jasicki, you You got the little gadget guy from New Orleans, Taysom Hill. He's not little. He's actually a massive human being. He's like a bull out there, bull in a china shop.
Yeah, he's a guy that I've probably had like 3 years in a row. It's just like a weird dark horse hybrid tight end guy. They say he's going to catch more passes this year. Does that mean he'll run less? Or does that mean that he'll run the same amount and catch more passes? That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. Yeah, his passes are going to be like screenplays and little flats routes and stuff, a little out route or something, little in routes, what it's going to be, a little drag route. So if I've completed the Cowboys Lions stack, I've got the Indianapolis, like a tiny Indianapolis Raiders going with Pittman and Adams, and then I do have a decent Commanders San Francisco going with McLaurin and Ayuk. I don't necessarily need those quarterbacks at this point. I feel like I'm just picking one off. Like I've got a few matchups here. I've even got like Isaiah Pacheco one off, got Roshan Johnson one off, and the Bears match up there against the Falcons. New England one off, Green Bay one off. New England does have a spicy matchup if I remember correctly. All right, I got it. Oh no! That's 1 second. Whoa, I just reached big time on that guy. Holy crap.
What did you get?
Malik Davis at
here's a little lesson about starring up guys. So Andy just showed us why that can be dangerous, but I'll give you an example of a time that it was very helpful. I was doing a draft with Derek last night, and I had a pretty extensive list queued up, and the guy in front of me's time got down to 1 second, and then it just froze. And I'm like, why did the draft freeze? Well, I looked down and my internet went out. We were having like tornado warnings all evening over here. So, so it can be good, because by the time I got to my phone, it had taken my next pick, which was fine because it was a guy I had queued up. So there are advantages. There's also disadvantages. Make sure you have a detailed watch list. If you have a guy that's like a last round pick and you step away and forget, that can be bad. No such thing as reaching this late in the draft. True. I think anything like round 14 or after is pretty much the Wild West.
These are juicy. These are the only guys, of course, right? You got to think about the positional scarcity here and how those guys drive. But these are the guys late, the skill position guys late that are going cheap on eBay. These are the guys I can get $10 rookie ticket autos for. I can't find those players even in the top 5 to 10 rounds in some cases at those price points right now. There's a few guys in this range that have gotten a little bit more steam lately, like Paris Campbell, but they're still very cheap. Like he's all the way to 164. He wasn't even being virtually drafted. He was a last final round guy. So he's definitely gone up in value. Like I would be picking him over DJ Chark, I think, at this point. DJ Chark had some of the worst success rates last year. I think his lower body injuries have finally caught up to him, and it's not good, man. It's not good. I don't think he's going to have much of a year. I think he can win a 50-50 contested catch, but I don't think he can go out and separate and earn targets. And Bryce Young, with being such a good processor that he is, I think he's going to see DJ Chark covered a lot, and he's probably not going to go his way. It probably is going to be a lot more Adam Thielen, Terrace Marshall, which I'm interested now to look up Adam Thielen.
He's projected to be the target leader, at least preliminarily. Bush, man, that one hurt, buddy.
Mac Jones? Okay, yeah, you wanted to stack him up with Taekwon?
Yeah, I had a couple, well, the top 2 receivers anyway.
Let's see. So a couple add up. I don't know what the optimal build is for these, Steve. A lot of people talking about, 258, 258, 2. Wait, I got how many picks do I have? Yeah, 2 left. So I can add another wide receiver, get 8. I think multiple tight ends also makes a lot of sense when you get this late. I'm not opposed to adding a couple more tight ends. And potentially another running back here. I don't think it makes sense to go past 2 quarterbacks when you have 2 clear-cut starters. And then you also need more depth at tight end and running back. What do you think, Steve?
Let's see here. I think you're probably good at RB. 5 or 6 is a pretty good number for RB. You're pretty thick at receiver though, so you can go a little heavier at running back this late in the draft, or even take an extra QB or an extra tight end. I think you went 4 straight receivers.
Yeah, buddy. I did, man. It was fun too. Just went hog wild. That was a blast, man. I actually went 5 receivers in the first 6 rounds. Oh, felt good too, man. Not gonna lie. But yeah, so check this out. We were talking about Romeo Doubs versus Christian Watson last week and how he's getting some buzz. I don't think Romeo Doubs is a guy even at value that I want to touch. I already told you guys I was leery about him just because I think it comes back to Jordan Love and whether or not you think he's going to exceed expectations or not. But Romeo Doubs, he had the second worst success rate against man coverage last year. He also had a below average success rate against zone coverage, and he was right there with DJ Chark as worst amongst wide receivers that he tracks in success rate versus man coverage. And DJ Chark also had a really bad success rate against zone coverage as well.
So he's just airing it out, basically.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the explosiveness anymore. The ability to cut and turn. I got him. Did I get him? I got Hayden Hurst.
Andy, what do you got coming?
I think it's either a running back or a tight end. And yeah, I'm not opposed to doing a Jeff Wilson. I'll take a Jeff Wilson there. Oh, man. I didn't even notice Ty Chandler's out there. Oh, man. Dude, total.
Sometimes these last rounds are pretty exciting because there's a lot of fun late flyer guys you can take, but you can't take them all. So you'll have to take some this draft and try a couple different guys at different draft.
I should have scrolled down just a little bit. I would have loved me some Ty Chandler. It's either going to be Ty Chandler or Dwayne McBride, man. One of these cats is going to step up. And you know what they're going to do?
run.
They're gonna
Run a lot.
smash. Well, just like that, they're gonna smash through the glass ceiling, and people are gonna go at their breakout.
I think I don't know. I know you're heavy on Chandler. I know some of the other Discord guys are too. I think McBride is the guy. So I guess we'll see. I think one of them ends up in a timeshare with Madison. I think it's just assumed that he becomes the automatic workhorse, but I don't think that's the case.
Picking random guys would be great for weekly winners. Like or just seasonal long redraft teams where you're just picking best individual player is still is optimal to stack, but you could pick some more random guys and just go based on who you think the best player available is. But yeah, I'm with Derek 100% in this one. In a large tournament format, we're trying to correlate. You just go back and look at the previous winning rosters. They all correlated. They all stacked. They all use stacking. They all use game correlation. The DraftKings winning a million mega rosters, they do this on a weekly basis. And so you don't always need a bring back. There are some situations that some weeks that have happened where like you didn't need a bring back to still put up over 200 fantasy points. But in a lot of situations, when one quarterback and wide receiver is going off, or one running back is going off on a team, on the other team, that quarterback, wide receiver, or running back is going off as well to try and keep pace. And that's why you look at, like, regardless of defense, Steve, you're just looking at offenses that can potentially keep pace with the opposing offense any given Sunday, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to have, like, you know, an entire squad's roster per se, but you want to have like you said, either game correlation or some multiple team correlations between both your quarterbacks if you have more than one, you know, or a QB that throws to your running back or something along the lines of that. Not everything is going to be a perfect matchup, a perfect meshing, but you know, that's going to be potentially what carries you to the promised land. It's those random late dart throws that could be like the, you know, over the hill winners in the final week. You know, if you took, you know, I just took Richie James. If he ends up getting, you know, becoming the favorite wide receiver on KC, then that's a huge pickup. You know, I don't think a lot of people have that guy. So.
Actually, Richie, I'm interested. I'm surprised you bring Richie James up. Why did you select Richie James in the last round? Because on Kansas City?
Plays against Bengals, which I have a lot of Bengals. I have most of the good Bengals. So that's a potential shootout. I think every game we've seen between those two teams has been a shootout. So, you know, I don't have Mahomes and I don't have Kelsey, but I can get a piece of that offense that could go off in week 17.
Yeah, Richie James, a very interesting name because of some of his advanced metrics last year were actually pretty solid.
And he actually he scored 107 fantasy points with like a mediocre role with the Giants last year.
Seventh round draft pick, almost 28 years old, 5'9", 185. So it's like, man, he's not going to create any FOMO in the card market with his age. I mean, 2018 product, it's not terrible. Actually, it's not bad. I mean, it's kind of old for his age, but I was looking at, he played in the slot a ton. So he's going to be primarily, I guess, potentially competing with guys like Sky Moore for targets. Let me look at some of this from a target actually is getting a high level of accurate targets. Contested catch rate, number 8, only a small sample on 5 contested targets. He won at a 60% rate, which was number 8. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that jumped out. He got some pretty. Oh, here you go. Yeah, route win rate, number 11, 48.3%, and he had a pretty solid win rate versus man coverage as well. So he's actually quite efficient. So he could definitely earn a decent amount of targets in a Kansas City offense. He may be the guy you want and gets higher volume and higher production than Marquez Valdez-Scantling, potentially even Rashee Rice, and you got him in the 20th round.
Yeah. I mean, you want guys that, you can get late that can have a few spike weeks. And, if he doesn't even, do anything crazy until I get to the playoffs, or if I make it to the playoffs, then that's okay because he's not the core of the team I drafted. But who knows? He might have several big weeks.
Next, Puppy Steve. I'm going to try and snipe some cards during this puppy, too. You're out there. You're not signed up for Underdog Fantasy. Let's go. Let's get it. Get it with that promo code QUEST that you see up there in the corner. Just QUEST. 100% is deposit bonus up to $100. And we're going to hop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. Yes. Oh, man, I love these puppies. Got to mix up that exposure a little bit. It's a brand new league, Steve.
Oh, no.
Look, it's filling up. These things fill up quick.
I don't think I got the same one. Or maybe I did.
That's what I love about this, man.
Maybe I did.
Back when we didn't get in the same one.
I'm not sure. At first, it looked like I was the only one in it, but our numbers did match up on the screen.
Oh, man, check this out. You're in it. You're in it, brother.
Yeah, all right.
We got all kinds of people I recognize. We got Messiah in this one. We got Steelers 7, our man Brian. Remember Brian from Thundering Sports Cards on last week? Yourself, Bushleaguers. I'm at the 1.8. Late Stick at the 2. Alexander 75. Alexander, if you're out there in the chat, let us know. That name sounds familiar. Derek at the 10. So I'm picking in between Steeler, Brian, Bushleaguers, Messiah, and Derek. And that's after. Oh my golly, this is going to be nice. And then you got Filthy Collector at the turn, double tapping. Oh my God, I am screwed right now.
Let's see, we got Late Stick at the 1, 2. We got me at the 5, Steeler at the 6. Ooh man, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All people here. 10, Derek. We got a loaded draft here, and a few of you guys are going to be just sniping each other all night. They did change the kickoff rule. Yeah.
Messiah also pointed out that Richie James is getting work in special teams. Oh, are you talking about on the way back? I know. On the way back, I'm gonna have. Not only is it Derek, but I'm going to have Filthy, Derek, and Messiah drafting in front of me on the way back.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it, man. Spot for maximum auto picks. Oh, I'm on the clock.
Would have been the safest auto pick of your life.
You got to mix it up, right? Got to get our man, the Digmeister. And I've been dropping those perception, knowledge bombs. When you look at, and this is no secret, they were just talking about Stephon Diggs yesterday. Success rate, the best in the league. Stephon Diggs. Right up there. It's very close. If you look at success rate versus man, it's Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams. But it's like they're right at like Devontae Adams at 78% on 137 man routes. And Stephon Diggs is 79.4% on 136 man attempts. So it's pretty interesting to look at that, and then also understand how often they were double covered. Stephon Diggs was double covered an absurd 17.6% last year, and he had a 76% success rate versus double coverage, 83% success rate against press man coverage, and almost a 90% success rate. Once again, highest in the league by over 2% against zone coverage. I mean, that's how freaking good Stephon Diggs is. So I get it why he's a little disgruntled, but I think he still could go out with a chip on his shoulder and just melt faces once again this year. He's really not that old.
Yeah, and if you remember how last season started, man, he came out swinging, looking like he was going to be the best in the league, and obviously he slowed down. Nobody could keep up that pace, but you know, in these kind of tournaments, it's all about cumulative points.
I'm going to do a little reach-a-roo here on Tony Pollard in the second. Kind of been my theme of the night. I got Diggs right on cue, but I mean, Tony Pollard, I only reached 4 picks, 4.2 picks.
Such a weird spot.
So I forget, dude. I don't know why I keep forgetting who the Bills play. It must be uneventful. Oh, it's the Patriots. That's why I keep forgetting. It's going to be in Buffalo, and probably some kind of blizzard, snow game, snowballs getting thrown at their heads and stuff.
Sure.
Patriots got double covered. Go ahead, Steve.
Patriots could be a slept-on offense this year, perhaps.
The wrong draft board.
And you know, if Buffalo were to clinch, you know, they may not play all their starters, whereas the Patriots might. That's one of the weird things that can happen when you're talking about that late in the year.
Yeah, that is true, man. I don't. Yeah, I could see that. So you were saying Buffalo could be benching a lot of their starters?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if there's a team that is clinched and they have home field, they may play half a game only. They may play, I don't know if they won't play any of the game, but they might play half a game. The weather's bad, especially.
So by making picks like this, I should just kind of like double stack. Then I definitely want to make sure I kind of, I think, prioritize then both an elite wide receiver early and an elite quarterback, because, like, for example, if Josh Allen falls to me here, I'm going to take him, hands down in the third round. Like, I kind of got to take him. And of course, he went just naked, like Jim Kelly Buffalo. The guy's name is Jim Kelly Buffalo. No way he was going to pass on Josh Allen.
Yeah, no. I don't think I have him at that. You know what? No, I don't know. I'm going to go back with my guy. Going with my guy.
Oh, man. I am salivating right now looking at James 88's J.K. Dobbins collection in the Discord server. He just posted in the general chat. He got all his
one of the most
Dobbins cards.
Intriguing guys going into this year.
He's going to be coming up on the clock, too. Let's see. Cowboys, Lions, Buffalo, Patriots. Let's see what we got here. We're just going to have to keep going. I do love that Miami. I don't really want to reach on tight end, though. I guess not necessarily like a reach. Man. I'm going to go Breece Hall. Week 17. Who do the Jets get? The Browns? Okay. Yeah, that could be a really bad weather one too, man. The Browns always get some crazy, like there was some analysts talking about where the Browns are geographically located and how the weather kind of swirls there. It's pretty crazy, man. The Browns get a lot of really crazy weather. They're kind of always good for a couple extreme weather games as well, like a lot of wind.
Yeah, and if you think about it that way, I mean, anytime you got a lot of snow, there may be a limitation on how much passing is done.
Nick Chubb, baby.
Yeah, he's actually been one of the
Jerome Ford.
He's been one of the fastest rising players in these best ball drafts. Andy, we do have a super chat. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, sweet. No, I didn't, man. Let's see. I don't even remember what stream. Here we go. Bam. I appreciate you, Corey RC 1987. Hey, fellas, been watching for a while now. Love all the content and hot hobby picks. Got a question. What's that platform that you guys use with the sports card pricing charts? Can I get on it? You're in the right spot, sir. Yes, you can get on it. You can access that with any of our tiers through patreon.com/footballcards. It's as cheap as $6 a month. You can even get a discount on that if you want to pay annually. You get like a 10% discount on that. So it gets down to, I think, like $5 a month. So yeah, go check that out. Plus then you get access to our private chat and our Discord. Doing some extra live streams there on a weekly basis. And we've got a lot of that could get you access to my weekly auction sniper article. It'll get you entered one entry into the monthly giveaway. And then you'll have access to, direct message, direct line with me and all the other guys in the chat. And Steve, I feel like I'm leaving. Oh yeah, you get access. You can then participate in our group submission.
Don't forget the
hobby box breaks at cost.
That's the one I was gonna say. That's a big one, man. That's a big one.
I'm trying to add just way more value than you could ever possibly get for that.
Yeah, the monthly. I don't know if you mentioned it. The monthly monthly wheel spin.
Yeah. I just did 6 wheel spins the other day. Oh man. So yeah, you do get access to that platform with any tier. Once you sign up, there's instructions and links on how you get into the web app, and check it out. I think Eli Martin's talking about the same app. Yeah, just so we're clear, so our base tier is $6 per month, but you can get an annual discount if you sign up for the 1 year up front. Oh, and look who just joined us. Look what the cat drug in.
What up?
Carter.
What up?
I see Messiah. I see some diehards. I see Derek. What's good?
Oh man, it's going really good. I'm going on some pretty obscure builds here, man. I reached like 17 picks and picked Brandon Ayuk over Deebo Samuel in the last draft.
I like it. Brandon Ayuk over Deebo? Okay.
Over Deebo. Yeah, I went Amon-Ra St. I was at the 1.12. I went Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams. And then when the end of the third came back to me, I went Brandon Ayuk over Deebo Samuel.
Oh, I love it. I can't hang out for too long, but it's good to see Kaladesi. I can't wait to meet both of you guys here in a few weeks. It's going to be crazy.
Heck yeah, man. It's I can't believe it's already the middle of July here. What is that, 2 weeks away?
It's wild. I don't even remember the last time I've been on a plane. I think it was December of last year. No. It was Cincinnati a few months ago. Corey, good to see you, man. Yes, Corey, you've got to join the Patreon, man. What are you doing, Corey? You get the web app access. You got to join in, man. Got to get to it, bro. All right. What do we? Let's see. We got Steph.
No, dude.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, check this out. I think you were looking at the people in the draft. We literally this draft room is almost entirely full of people on a quest.
Yeah, what about 6 or 7 out of the 10?
Yeah, 6 or 7 out of the 12, I think, because you got Late Stick here, you got Steve here, Scaladesi, then you got Brian from Thundering Sports Cards, then you got Bush Leaguers, myself, Messiah, Derek, and you got Filthy at the turn. Like, I'm sandwiched between all these guys. They've been making my life a living hell so far.
I love it. So is this a private league or the puppy?
This is a puppy.
Oh, heck yeah, let's go. Let's ship
Yes,
it.
sir.
We just timed it well. We were able to get just about everybody in here.
Andy, don't auto pick. Come on, hurry up and get back to the main window.
All right. Well, you going to help me make my pick here?
Well,
You remember the Week 17 matchups?
Yeah, I got them all memorized, buddy.
All right. So I guess we could. Oh man, Brandon Ayuk's gone. I was gonna say we could have got. I got 2.
Okay, here we go.
We got 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. I took Michael Pittman last draft. I could go George Kittle. I did say I wasn't gonna go Kittle past his ADP, but I could go Kittle here. Can't.
Oh yeah, with the McLaurin, yeah, go ahead, smash it.
Yeah. I was thinking with the McLaurin, then I could always get Brock Purdy's super easy to get late. Sam Howell is easy to get. Jacoby Brissett's free. I missed Josh Allen. Of course, he didn't fall to me. Always could get Aaron Rodgers. Dak seems to fall too. Like Aaron Rodgers goes kind of late-ish.
How are we thinking Aaron does this year? Because he is a easy get late in these drafts. I mean, if he performs in the top 10, he is a amazing value.
Let's see.
The problem with me, Steve, is that he plays slow. Like Aaron is very methodical. He likes to control the line of scrimmage and do this and that to read the defense. And he's paired back up with his old offensive coordinator. And if you go back and look at each year with him and Nathaniel Hackett, they played at one of the slowest paces in the league. Sure, they may have won a lot of games. So I think Aaron's fantasy performance is going to be about status quo. So I'm not reaching on him because he just plays too slow, I think, unless he's forced into some kind of fast gameplay shootout scenario. But their defense is so good in New York, I don't see him getting into a whole lot of those scenarios. Yeah. So I think fantasy, he's just going to be status quo, but he may do great in win-loss record and maybe an MVP candidate, you know?
All right, let's go back to the main board. We're getting ready to pick. I see why you get auto-picked all the time, man. I see it.
When it says 2-3 picks away, Andy, you got to be ready, man.
I got to deliver that content, man. You get me going. So Michael Pittman feels like a smash here. I know I don't because they're playing the Raiders. There's not that correlation there. Treylon Burks playing Tennessee. They're playing Houston. I could come back with Dameon Pierce next time.
No, get Burks. Go for it if you got Pittman the last draft. Yeah. Let's get our
I did. I got Pittman in the last draft, so he'll go now. And then we can maybe get Pierce. I doubt he'll come back, but maybe.
Nah, I mean, how many more picks away are you?
I'm at the 1.8 and
yeah.
You guys just evaporated my watch list the last 5. You guys.
So Andy, I want to show you something. I want all your viewers to see this right here.
Oh, okay. Hold up.
This is actually the dog that they use for the Underdog logo. My dog, Z Baby.
Woo.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't know. I don't think everybody knew that. Okay.
That's the Underdog dog right there.
And an Underdog paid me $50,000
To use the likeness.
To use the likeness of my dog. $50,000. Okay. But then I said, no, I like your company. Just give me one Kenneth Gainwell RPA. And then that's I was, and they're like, are you sure about this? I was like, yes, this guy's the next LaDainian Tomlinson. Give it. Huh?
Smooth freaking move, man.
That's right.
Hey, you know what? The dog is handsome. He's happy. He's licking the microphone. It's all good.
Okay, could y'all hear it like loud?
No, I just saw.
Okay, all right. I didn't know.
Corey said, "Is that a cat?"
Is that a cat? Oh my god,
That's too funny.
That's
Z baby.
Z baby. All right, look. Whoa. We might actually get our guy dropping.
Let's freaking go.
All right. All right.
I'm liking Corey's energy, man. It's good to have him part of the Patreon. And Corey, we'd love to see you at the National. I'm still trying to talk Derek.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we got sniped a little here with Pierce. That's okay. I mean, it was highly unlikely.
Yeah, it was highly unlikely.
Sanders kind of hung around for a while.
Swift. Okay, we're back up. Back up, Carter. I got Pollard. Rashad. I've virtually taken no Rashad White, but he's right there with Pacheco. It's hard for me to take White over Pacheco. I feel like Pacheco's always. Yeah, we think I should get some more Rashad White. Give him a second chance.
You should go Monty to go with that Tony Pollard, right?
Oh no. I think I got auto pick.
You got auto pick, bro. Again.
Dalvin Cook.
Huh?
Please sign somewhere, dude. Put your ego aside. Take your $4 million and go play football somewhere.
Oh,
do you think that a lot of these veteran guys are just waiting out training camp so they don't have to practice in the heat?
Oh God, Dalvin. Oh, he's gonna keep sliding. I should have just. Oh my God, I'm gonna be honest. I think Montgomery is going to be so good this year in fantasy. That Rams offense, I say Rams, that Lions offense is going to smash, and Monty with Ben Johnson's schemes is just going to murder it this year.
I dig it. Do you think it's gonna be more touchdown dependent, or do you think he's gonna put up a ton of rushing yards? Touchdowns. And then how do you think Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna fit into that?
They can both be fed. They are the perfect complement. Like what Montgomery does is totally different than what Gibbs does. So once again, I'm a mediocre fantasy player, so I don't.
But it's a valid observation, Carter. I know you know football, Andy. I know you know football, but I think maybe for those that maybe haven't been watching football as long or playing fantasy as long, Jonathan Stewart, right? The Panthers. I mean, how many epic seasons with two viable running backs? It can be done.
I love it. I love some J Stu. God, what do you do here, Andy? I mean.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the upside of Evan Ingram. I mean, he won people a lot of money last year in Week 17. But I got Kittle already. I got Antonio Gibson, A.J. Dillon. I could actually. A.J. Dillon has a bring back for me, doesn't he?
No, because he's Minnesota. Just smash it. Just go ahead. I would have just taken Cooks.
What? Oh, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I would have just taken Brandon Cooks. I think. You're getting some ADP value.
One off. Yeah, no, you're right. ADP value. Also wide receiver, and I'm now getting kind of in that deep wide receiver territory.
Yeah,
you know who's growing on me a lot right now, Carter? It's Elijah Moore.
I like Elijah.
Elijah Moore on the Browns. Look, Steve just sniped him at pick 92.
I've been, Andy, before the preseason kind of officially started. Actually, I can't say before it started, but during the early preseason after he got traded, I actually went and picked up a bunch of rookie ticket autos that are on the mega cheat, man. They might still be on the mega cheat.
So get this, Carter, I don't know if you caught any of the earlier thing, but I've been kind of like talking about what Matt Harmon does over at Reception Perception. I've been like totally down that rabbit hole. I signed up for his subscription and been looking at all the receivers rank up, and Elijah Moore freaking crushed it last year in 132 man attempts, 72.7 success rate against man coverage last year, and 66% success rate against double coverage. He didn't get double covered much, but he was really good against press and man coverage. And he's like in the top 10 of all the wide receivers that he charted. Top 10 of in wide receiver position.
I like it. He also most famously is known for doing the dog pissing motion.
The dog pissing. I know. I still remember that.
Okay. Only true college football fans know about that. I know this is mostly an NFL channel, but that's part of the reason why college football is college football. I know we're getting ready to pick, but the story was DK Metcalf the year before versus Mississippi State scored a touchdown and did a celebration of a dog pissing motion. And the next year, Elijah Moore did it, but he did it in like a big part of the game. And Ole Miss had a 15-yard penalty to kick the extra point to tie the game as time expired. They missed it because Elijah Moore scooted the extra point 15 yards back. It is the greatest. It is the hardest I've ever laughed.
That's like the famous Michigan basketball timeout. Was that Chris Webber?
Oh God, that's so great. And I love Jacoby Myers. I know you don't have any Colts, but you only got 3 wide receivers. You could take Juju with the Buffalo stack there. I don't really like Juju next year, but I mean, you could. It would make sense if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think we're in a total dead zone right now. We've fallen off of a wide receiver cliff here.
Well, then who's your QB? You don't have a QB yet?
I don't have a QB yet either. They're going to probably leave me with scraps here coming back.
Nah.
Yeah, there's actually plenty of quarterbacks in this single quarterback format.
And there's a lot of QBs out there. Wait.
Yeah,
okay.
QB.
That makes sense.
So you've been getting a lot of reps in, Carter, on the pups.
Yeah, I got another one in, and I love drafting on my phone on Underdog. I just do. I love laying on the couch and just drafting on my phone. Like, obviously, now that I've started this fantasy channel, like I'll do the drafts, like obviously on the computer. But I love Underdog's UI, and I really do mean this. I understand we're both affiliated with Underdog, Andy, but like I signed up because I actually liked Underdog. Like, I really do like their services.
I'll say this too,
Yeah.
for people that have just started drafting on Underdog, or if it's like your first time you haven't drafted yet, and you're used to drafting on like ESPN or Yahoo, like it's seemingly a little awkward at first, but I got used to it. And I do agree with Carter. It's actually, now that I'm acclimated to it, it's fun, it's easy, there's so many different contests to get in, and they always have them cycling in and out, so it's a good place to be, man.
I haven't taken any Jacoby Myers yet. I don't know why I've soured on him so much. Maybe it's because of Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow, and I'm not expecting a whole lot out of the passing offense in Vegas, but I know he's decent.
Cousins.
He actually came. He's a late round. He's a deep cut guy, but may look at his success rate. There's different kinds of things. I've been promoting, hopefully driving some new subscribers to Reception Perception tonight. But look at that. I mean, that's a lot of success rate, man. Short and intermediate routes. A lot of screens, flats, slants. Like that's in breaking and out breaking. Short routes. He's not gonna win deep in anywhere. And he's
That's
on
a
a new
high
team
swing
this year.
percentage.
So I get why you like him, Carter. That's a high success rate, man. Short and intermediate.
Oh, you got Jacoby too? There you go, baby. Let's go.
I did get Jacoby.
Good, man.
But it's a reach ADP. But I guess in my rankings, yeah, he's right there, 113. Do you think that Jacoby Myers is better than Hunter Renfrow?
Yes, because they paid him a nice
That's a good
contract.
point. And money talks.
Yeah, I think Jacoby was actually a good piece with the Patriots.
Yeah, he was. He just did a couple knuckle like that one lateral play.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Remember they tried to pull off the
one
miracle
at
play.
the very end of the season.
Yeah, and he lateraled it to the other team, or no? What did he do? He lateraled it forward, or he lateraled it to the other team, and it was just like, oh, whoops, game over.
Yeah.
He was so hard on himself after that too.
Pretty bad. Let's see who's still out here. Oops.
Let's see.
There goes Harris.
Yeah, this 10th round Nico Collins is good, man. And especially now after digging into perception, I'm loving Nico Collins even more, Steve. His win rate against man coverage last year was really good. Nico Collins was good.
Oh yeah, well we should have taken Nico over Jacoby with Traylon.
Yeah, because he's a 1. Nico's a 1. You got Devontae Adams just gonna smother Jacoby there.
That's my
I
bad.
guess it's a different role, but I mean, I'm hoping that maybe Anthony Richardson's gone, so I guess there goes that. We can maybe throw in like a obscure. Who's the guy behind Jonathan Taylor? I think he's got decent talent though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he had a couple big games and he hurt his knee last year. I think.
Yeah. No, I think there's a new guy though.
Oh, Evan Hall out of Northwestern.
Yes, Evan Hall out of Northwestern.
He's got some athleticism, man. I think he could be a receiving back too.
Yes, he's very fast, right? So they picked up Zach Moss from Buffalo. He's on the squad behind JT. Then Deion Jackson's the guy you were talking about, Steve, all-purpose, who filled in okay. Then Evan Hall, he's kind of like a Nyheim Hines replacement, right? The 5'10", 209, but he's really fast. He's got good hands.
I like it.
So we were talking about
him late.
Wait, is Kaladesi drafting right now too? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Andy, do not auto pick again, please.
No auto picks here.
I mean, you could just get Schultz to go with Burks, but I don't know.
I'm not getting tight ends this early. I'm gonna go with Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, that's actually I think that's not perfect, but it's solid. What, did I need another running back? I guess it's 5 running backs and 5 wide receivers and 1 tight end. 5-5-1. I guess we do need to get a quarterback and another tight end and stuff going, some more wide receivers. I just don't like anybody. I'm not crazy about anybody in this range. I think we could wait till late to get tied in. I think there's late running. Well, I probably didn't even need to take him then. But he's got some standalone value as is without Christian McCaffrey even getting injured or anything, you know?
No, he does for sure.
So
And I got McLaurin.
Is anybody in the chat here going to the National? I need everybody to go to the National. All three of us.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a head count because there's a few guys like Filthy and MVP Pete and Late Stick. I feel confident in us being able to get 10 to 15 guys together for a Quest trade night. You know, like our own trade night on Saturday night, independent of the big trade night that they're doing on Friday night or whatever.
Yeah, are we
we're
going
staying at the Holiday Inn. What happened?
Are we going?
Yeah, we're about to pick. We're about up.
Let's see. Who are we picking? Scroll up. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about any of these guys down here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get my Chicago Bears running back.
That's I
What
was
do you think?
waiting for it, Andy. I was waiting for it.
Roshan. I got John Mechie down there.
What are you guys bringing for card wise? Are you guys bringing 10 cards, 50 cards, 100 cards? What are you bringing?
Why you drafting Mechie with 50 spots of ADP value?
Dude, I don't see any reason to reach on any. I guess I could have taken Darnell.
No, John Mechie.
I didn't need a running back.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm thinking about.
John Mechie's going to be there. John Mechie might not even get picked, and you're taking him in the 130s.
I know that was bad, wasn't it?
Oops.
This is why I'm the
Andy,
I'm
you're
a
supposed
good
to be
guy to
setting
have
a
on
good example here.
mediocre fantasy.
I will tell you this. I am painfully mediocre in fantasy. That was a move that I normally make, going 50 spots of ADP.
I didn't even notice that. I'm
Andy,
like,
That's why I was
I
like,
was thinking about reserving a room at the National. It's hard for me to multitask this late at night, man.
all right, here's my thing. Here's my thing about the National. It is so big that like it can overwhelm you. I would love to do like obviously go to the National this year, but one day go to a Dallas card show. Like the Dallas card show experience is so freaking fun. And I went to my first one at my bachelor's party earlier this year. And Andy, you saw it. I mean, it was just so freaking fun, man. Like, God, I just freaking love the Dallas card show. But I'm sure the National is going to be better, right?
I mean, it's got to at least be as fun, I would think. I don't know, man. This is the thing. I have not been to a card show since I was like 10 years old.
It's a big venue. And you have a lot more, I guess, than just cards going on. You have celebrities, signing autos, and if you haven't been to a show in a long time, or if you've never been to a show, it could be overwhelming, honestly.
So Late Stick would go to a Dallas card show. I'm down, man. I'm definitely down to do something at a Dallas card show because that's drivable for me too, and it is just like sports cards, right? It's not. You're not just gonna. So scroll all the way up, Andy. Like not on your roster, but on this.
I am up all the way on this.
You still need a QB.
Should I go ahead and man, it's getting slim pickings, brother.
Well, just
got AJ Dillon. I guess I could put a Jaden Reed. Probably get a Romeo Dobbs this late. I'd rather have Reed than Dobbs.
Dobbs would have
Right.
already gone.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just based on the.
Dobbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I could also do a Luke Musgrave. Got that little correlation going there in week 17.
Well, I would do that, and then I would also smash Brock Purdy.
Do we have Brock Purdy out there?
He should be.
No, he's gone, brother.
He's
Look at
gone?
that. I get Trey Lance. No, you saw what happened? Messiah drafted him in like the 8th round or something crazy.
Oh, God.
Look at this. Yeah, Messiah drafted him at pick 88. And so that makes me feel a lot better about taking Mechie at 137.
88.
Let's see. All right, we're
This-
picking.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
This might be the worst roster I've ever drafted.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, God.
It's pretty
but, like,
bad, right?
I gotta say, Andy, when we do the live stream drafts, I mean, there's some more unique drafts that I see come about, which forces other people, including myself, to completely adapt and draft the team differently than they have, which maybe is good, maybe isn't. I thought my last draft overall went a lot smoother than this one, but you just have to evolve on the fly. I mean, your draft strategy has to change if it has to change, you know.
This right here, I got to get out to a show in Clearwater, man. That's only like 30, 45 minutes away from me. If these sellers are ancient and they have no idea what they have, I love that tip, Corey.
Andy, you know, I'll
I have
be-
to meet up
Andy,
with
you're
you, bro.
picking.
I'm picking. Crap.
Just take.
You know, I've proposed this before. If anyone's out there from Bang Energy, this is how I get amped up for the show, Andy. You may need to take a page out of my book here.
I have not had any beers. I am. I've been drinking water. You guys saw me drink something in the koozie. That was a sparkling water.
Why did you take Kenny Pickett just now, Andy?
Just because he was a quarterback that I think can exceed the current values. I think he's got spike weeks. Now, what's interesting is the Steelers are playing the Seahawks, right, in week 17. So I don't have.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I don't have any correlation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that there is maybe a Steelers, bless you, Steve, that I can get here.
Well, Allen Robinson.
Okay, there you go. He's on a pretty decent contract. I expect him to use him at some point. He may be able to still win a 50-50 ball.
Well, they'll play him in the slot mostly, and also, that was one of your first ever like big flips buying all those Allen Robinsons for like $1 a
Oh,
piece.
it was. Oh, I smashed the process. Smashed on him. Just looking at, basically looking at advanced
you do
metrics,
not want to fly
efficiency
to Midway.
metrics.
James, you want to fly to O'Hare, ORD.
Let's go, James.
O'Hare is,
ORD, yeah.
Probably 5 to 10 minutes from the National. Midway is probably 45 minutes from the National. On a good day.
O'Hare?
Yeah, it's very close. Probably 10 minutes.
It's very close, but you said, oh, okay. I thought you said 45 minutes. I was going out.
No, Midway. Midway is very far away.
Yeah, Midway is far away. O'Hare is literally the convention center's right outside of like the airport area. Like you're right there. These 10 minutes. So yeah.
Yep. You'll see planes taking off right across the way. Andy, I don't know if it'll be January or next summer again, but we'll definitely have to explore the Clearwater Sea.
Yeah, we got to make it out to a card show over there next time. So Corey's giving us more information. He said, yeah, a lot of tables are loaded with treasure, and you'll see the old guy selling and his wife behind him, forcing him to accept any offer, like literally any offer. What? That's sick. I gotta meet this guy. I gotta find that guy for sure.
Oh, late.
He said, for example, at one of our local shows about 6 months ago, I picked up 5 2020 Prism Megas at $60 each.
What?
Oh my God, 60. I feel sick that I haven't been going to this card show in Clearwater now.
I feel like if you can swing it, even if it's not fully documented, Andy, that might be a good once a month just drop in, get a little content for you.
You've got some 2020 Prism Megas, don't you, Carter?
I do. I got 3.
How much? So you know how much they're worth right now, right? I mean, you probably keep good tabs on them.
But what I think it's around $300, right?
That sounds about right, dude.
Let me see.
I'm getting Reed, man, because he's at value. He's
There it
the
is.
only guy or pass
There it
catcher.
is, making up for the reach earlier. There it is.
I got a guy at value at 10 picks at 80 ADP value.
Also, both your quarterbacks are week 6, Andy. So you don't want to take a 0.
Son of a.
You don't want to take a 0.
Well, come on down, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G, come on down, brother. What about Mac? I could get the Mac attack. I got old Juju.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
I also got McLaurin, so I got Howe, Mac. We got options, brother. We don't have to get Jimmy G. I think Howell's got a lot better ceiling than Jimmy G. Probably Mac too, honestly.
These are the picks that differentiate you from all the other entries, similar entries.
Yeah, Andy, they floated around 300.
That is so sick.
I kind of want to open.
It has to be.
I know, dude.
Same,
You could have a Joe Burrow, orange laser. That'll pay for a mega box.
All right, guys. I do have to skedaddle.
Good having
Hi,
you, man.
brother.
Have a great evening.
Brother. Cheers, guys. Go Tigers.
Take care of that Underdog mascot.
I will.
Give it up for Carter joining us on the stream, tuning in. That was pretty cool. With the under.
All right, Andy. Don't want to see it happen again. I'm letting you know you're up.
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna try not to reach on somebody. I wonder if I can. I got plenty of time, man. I got like tons of time. What are we doing here? We might get auto picked. No, I'll go Jasicki again. Right on ADP. I think Hunter Henry is still out there. Doesn't Henry go later than Jasicki? Oh no, Derek got Henry. No, yeah, he's still out there. 213, so he's basically free.
30 ADP later, roughly. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know, there's definitely a mystery as to where Zeke's going to play football this year, but I do think he plays football this year, which is enough for me to take him this late. So let's take him.
What'd you do for Derek? What'd you do to upset Derek?
Me?
Yeah, Zeke Elliott. Is that what it is? Are you sniping his guys or something over here?
I don't know.
Oh, he wants you to stop. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're telling me when it's my turn to pick.
Oh,
You're trying to help me not get auto picks. You're a good co-host, man. You're a good guy. Trying to look out for me. I get it. I appreciate that.
Half the time I'm tabbed out on the Underdog, looking at making up my player watch list, and didn't even know. But yeah, I didn't want to see it happen back to back. Light stick may have fired you.
Corey said, "You guys go Herbert or Burrow for a side investment," and I'd rather go Burrow, but I mean he costs what, 4 times as much now as Herbert, and in a lot of cards, not necessarily like the rookie ticket autos, surprisingly, but in a lot of those more base cards, he does premium base cards.
I think we saw like the base Prism. It was like 180 for Burrow and like 130 for Herbert. So, I mean, a lot of that has to do with Herbert's kind of down year last year, and Burrow's obviously great year. It's hard to see the Burrows coming down at this point. I only think that they maintain and keep going up. It all depends on how far along the ride you want to go. Are you holding it for 5 years? Are you wanting to hold it till the playoffs and move it? If that's the case, I think Herbert might be like a good halfway through the season move.
Yeah. I think Herbert's definitely got potential short term to go up.
What are we, round 17 here, huh? I feel like
I'm trying to get pulling more sound effects in. I was like wanting additional sound effects tonight, and that I did not have, and I was kind of disappointed that I didn't have them.
I'll tell you, Andy, I'm not a fan of this guy, but it makes sense. It just makes sense. He might have a couple of good games.
Nice.
So, Brad.
Robert Woods,
my best
Bobby
friend.
Trees. You know, Carter went Bobby Trees in a draft last night.
I saw that. He's on the wrong side of his career, but he's skilled. He's a veteran. He's bound to have a couple big games. He always has a couple really big games, and then just a lot of above average ones. But you know what? It's not just a naked pick. I do have Stroud, so I think it was only the correct thing.
Oh, you guys, you dirty,
What'd you
dirty
do?
dogs.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I'm gonna snipe Musgrave. Did I get him? Come on. Yes. Oh, man, that was so close. Oh, jeez, that was close.
This might be one of the most unique, fantasy best ball drafts I've ever been a part of. I definitely haven't. I've done about 30 of these, Andy. I don't have any teams that look anything like this. I'm not sure if the action, Andy, is happening in the best ball draft or in the banter in the chat. We got some serious heavy hitters going back and forth here, man. Some very competitive guys in the chat wanting to put their fantasy prowess head to head.
Yeah? Let me see.
That's got like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk type hype behind it.
Back it up every year. Are you talking about Brad Nolan sneaking in the chat? Here? Not here. It's late
Brad
and I'm
said
tired.
Trubisky
It
will
is
win
late,
MVP
man.
this year, Andy.
I know. I haven't had any beers, but I'm starting to think Trubisky might win the MVP this year.
At least in my heart, he will, even if he doesn't in real life.
FanDuel. Let me see. What happened? I lost my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. I added a couple new soundtracks. Let's see. That one's not that good. Wait, that one's just
What?
Did we?
that's for me on the clock.
Oh, you're up there.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna
That's
go.
a good pick for your quarterback.
257, 2583. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Sometimes the hardest pick in the entire draft, the very last pick. I do have some guys in mind. I just don't know which way to go here.
I don't know how Derek and Bush Leaguers are going to compete, but it looks like they want to do like a high stakes head-to-head fantasy football competition.
That could be quite interesting. No, I was just about to say that what Derek just said. The real ones do it with pen and paper. Yeah, man. Why pay the rake? Forget the rake. Let's see.
Gotta export that one. That one's pretty good. Oh.
See what everybody did. Steeler. Mahomes Kelsey to start off, man. Nice.
I appreciate you serving the audience, Steve, and I am curious to who you think did the best in this draft.
Yeah, let's take a look over everybody's squad here. And Filthy came out swinging. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Debo. That's nice. Derek, CD, Waddle, Mark Andrews. I almost went Mark Andrews. I was just worried I couldn't get Lamar to go with him, but that's a nice start too. Messiah, AJ Brown, Chubb, Lamar. Andy ended up with Diggs, Pollard, Brees Hall. Loaded up at RB early. Bush got Eckler, Taylor, Najee. Steelers got Kelsey, Mahomes, DK. Very nice. Ended up with McCaffrey, Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper. Late stick, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Jacobs. Oh, and Burrow. Very nice. Well, that's tough. Man, I don't know. That's hard. I got to say, I don't know. Based on just the first three picks, everybody did really good. Steelers really strong with the Kelsey combo. Late stick's really strong with basically the Bengals roster. Andy, the elite running back start is huge, along with one of the best receivers in the league. Derek, top tier tight end. I think Christian Watson at 39 is potentially a steal. He could be a top 5 receiver in the league. I don't think I had my best draft, if we're being completely honest, but I did end up with McCaffrey at 5, which is potentially good. And Walker, I think, is a steal at round 5 as well. And I essentially ended up with the entire Browns and Texans roster. So there's that. Filthy Herbert at 60. Man, that's a steal. That's a steal. Did he pair him up with anybody? Naked Herbert. I don't know. I think if I had to pick one, I might actually say late stick. I am also a Bengals homer in some degree, but I think that he gets my vote, at least initially.
All right, man. I love that analysis, man.
Were you content with your team, or did you think that the late auto picks hurt you too much? Because actually, I think your team's just fine, honestly.
It's all right. Yeah. The whole late season winter games in Buffalo, I guess, concern me a little bit. But I think other than that, if I think about that, I'm like being over analytical.
I
Then,
will say that
yeah.
when you went with Burks, I was thinking about going the Tennessee route, and I had to reroute after that. And then you did the 50 pick reach on Mechie, which broke apart my my Texans master team for no reason. But it's all good, man. These things happen, man. This is the reality of a fantasy draft. It's not cookie cutter. It's going to be some wild drafts like this one.
Yeah, 100%, especially with guys like Bushliger and Derek in here. Late Stick's very consistent drafter. So is Filthy, man. Brian, he's wild. He's a wild card over there. And Messiah, he took Brock Purdy at 88.
Yeah, this was definitely, there was some gunslinging going on here. But hey,
yeah,
you know, it makes it fun, and I hope somebody in the group here wins this thing, man. Whether it's myself or you or somebody from the community, man, that would just be awesome. I know Brian, I know you made it pretty far. I made it decently far. I'm sure Derek did as well. But yeah, two people advanced from our bracket, Andy. I think ultimately that's going to make it fun. It's almost like a private league, but not for us.
Yeah. Somebody's ultimately going to win a bunch of money, right?
Two people from this group, which puts it as a high percentage of it being somebody from the Discord at this point. Is that
your internet?
Is that the auto pick sound? The new auto pick.
You hear something?
That was my internet last night when the power was.
Steve, that's rude, man. You can't be burping like that on a live stream.
I was holding it in for after the draft at least, you know, with my non-sponsored. We may have to get you on board, Andy, to get you at your peak.
Pot.
We're gonna have to get you. Are we doing
75? No, I gotta go to bed, guys. But I I do have to go. I got to. But the pot is 75 grand. So the total pot is 500K, Corey.
Yeah.
I gotta end the stream also. Corey's gonna go check out the Patreon. And man, I had a blast tonight, Steve. Yeah, I might be scrolling through some more. Oh yeah, I'll be vlogging. There's going to be a lot of recorded content, Steve. I'll tell you. Check this out. I bought a nice set of wireless Bluetooth microphones that'll transmit up to like 100 feet away from our phone. So there's like a little transceiver that plugs into the phone, and then these things you can carry around and interview people or have them clipped to your shirt so you can talk and stuff. Yeah, 500K total prizes, 75K to first place, Corey. So yeah, I got that, man. Got a new little tripod for the phone and stuff. So we're ready to roll, man.
Yes, you got a couple portable battery packs or something. You might need those.
I could buy a juice box, but I have two phones. I have two cell phones. So one is going to be primarily used for, and it's brand new. It's got great battery. It's got a better camera. So one will be strictly used for, and it's got like hundreds of gigs of storage on the phone. So I'll use that primarily for video. And then if it dies, then I've got the second phone I could go to, which has got a good battery life on it too. It's a pretty new phone. So between the two, I think we'll be all right. Maybe I do buy a juice box, though. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because I know that there's going to be a fight for outlets, if there even is access to any in there. I'm sure there will be to some degree, but
yeah. But plus, I want to be like move because there's so many different dealers there, and there's so many potential deals to find. Like I want to film deals. I also, I'm bringing money and cards to actively look to make deals. And then I want to meet people and interview people. So it's I think going to be pretty busy Friday and Saturday in there. So you're right. I mean, there's not going to be any time to sit around, plug something in. So I think if one phone drains, and it is smart to have a juice box, put it in my backpack and have that first phone charging while I'm using the second phone. Because then I also need to be potentially looking on eBay, comp and stuff, even though I've already got a really good idea of where everything should be priced in my head, more or less.
So what do you bring in cards wise? 50, 100, 10?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I'm going to probably end up bringing like 50. That's a good question. I want to bring some interesting cards just like from my collection, just ones that do have a price. Like I'm not going to bring, I think I'm going to bring like my Travis Kelce Topps Chrome Refractor SGC 8.5. And Paul Hickey and those guys from Sports Card Strategy are going to be at a booth that they're advertising. They're cracking people's slabs for them. SGC is super easy one to crack, but I might crack that Travis Kelce out because it's worth a lot more crack. That's like $100 plus card now. And the 8.5 is just holding it back, man. Yeah, I will be bringing, I mean, basically they're like my business cards. I send them out to, I've got, my Quest collectible cards. I got some Quest rookie cards. That's the prestige design. And then I've got the Quest rated rookie design. These are the little instant prizes that I send out. I autograph. I got like a gold. I got a couple different colors of Sharpies. So I autograph them. They're fun. They've got information like the URLs and stuff for my channel and stuff on the back. So it's basically a business card. It's got but in the form of a football card. So shout out to Laughable's collection. So I'll be doing some limited print run autographs with some different Sharpies, maybe a specific, maybe I'll write auto pick Andy. I'll sign auto pick Andy. That's going to be a very rare print run though, man. I'm telling you, I don't auto pick often. So I'm going to do maybe a run out of 10 or 20 on the auto pick Andys.
Nice.
I got to get one to late stick because I know he's and Derek.
All the vets that are in for these drafts on these late Thursdays with us, that'd be nice.
But yeah, like I want to bring that card, as an example. I think I'm going to bring my Mike Evans Prism Red Prism Auto. I mean, you can never find comps for this card because it's so rare. It's numbered out of 35. It's in pristine condition. Perpetually faded. Yeah, I don't know if he's out in the chat or if he's around, but he sold it to me offline, right? I gave me a great deal. I think I paid like $130 or $140 for the card, but it's probably worth realistically like $400 or $500 because of how rare it is. I think I'm gonna bring it just to kind of show it off and just like potential. Like I'm obviously not gonna take any type of lowball offers on it, but I want to kind of have it with me.
I looked at some carrying cases, if you will, online, and there's one on Amazon that's actually like 60 or $80. I can't remember. I don't remember if it holds 50 or 100, but it's like half the price of the Zion case. So I may scoop that up just to have something safe to put the cards in with a little padlock on it. And then they do sell a version with like a backpack and all that, but it's like $200, man. I own a backpack. Just bring my own backpack. You know what I'm saying?
What about having the something like it doesn't have to be a lock case, but what about the zipper on your book bag? Getting one of those little padlocks to lock the zipper on your book bag.
True.
Or a combo lock on your book bag. Because I feel like the little eye holes in the zipper on your book bag, you could, put a lock through there and just lock down that whole compartment of your book bag.
My whole thing is like, I would love to have like my bag locked and the case locked, but at the same time, if I'm like trying to pull it out to do deals, like table to table, I feel like that's going to get really old really quick. So Lightstick, send me the link. I want to take a look and see.
Yeah. That's
'Cause
not
it'll be-
bad. $30 holds 50
If
slabs.
I order it now, it should arrive in time. Worst case scenario, I get the one on Amazon and it gets here in 2 days. So.
Yeah. I don't even think I have 50 slabs, but that would be nice just to put even the raw cards in there as well.
Yeah, and you can put between the slabs, you can put some one touches and top loaded cards in there. Bring them out, man. I got a lot of stuff to bring. I know. Andy, I'm sure you have mostly football. I got some nice. Well, you saw the submission. I had some Otani cards I graded with the SGC submission. I'll be bringing those. Maybe we'll do a. I don't know if we'll have enough computers, but I was gonna say a live draft in person. That'd be wild to have everyone in the same room. But I don't think we'll have enough. Well, everyone's got a cell phone, I guess, right? We'll figure it all out. It's just going to be nice to see everybody, and just going to be a wild, big venue to see all those cards, all those personalities, all those athletes potentially in one place. I know Florida native Hulk Hogan was there last year, Andy. I'm sure he'll be there again this year. Curious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, man. These card shows are like the Comic-Con, but for the sport hobby.
That's cool, man. I'm sure like Barry Sanders. I didn't look at the full. I think Odell Beckham. Well, Odell Beckham was there last year or something like that.
I know. I looked when the list first got posted a few months ago at some of the people that were going to be there, and there was some ginormous names. I'm sure it's changed and gotten better since then, but. Maybe between this week and next week, we'll take a look and kind of quickly review some of the big names that'll be there. And maybe we'll have to. we may have.
Bush Leaguers are trying to get each other back down. One doesn't want to do a redraft. Bush Leaguers don't want to do a redraft. He wants to put money on an underdog draft, I think, next week, which would be really tough. I guess you would have to say whoever had more points by the end of regular season.
We may need to make a. You may need to.
They want to go high stakes.
And you're gonna proctor up a like a fight poster, like a pay-per-view poster, for this massive showdown.
No, it's all good. It's friendly. I mean, look, Derek is definitely the real deal when it comes to fantasy football. So I'm not gonna argue that. Trust me, he's in literally 150 different leagues and like lives, eats, breathes this stuff. So Bush Leaguers, I have no doubts, been playing fantasy football for like 30 years. And, he's got a ton of experience. And, when you talk about running these like friends and family leagues, there's some wild stuff, dude. I remember in a friends and family league, like a guy ended up doing okay, but I mean, he would make some crazy pick in the first round and like pick his roster straight up. He'd go like quarterback. And then I remember one year, I think he went Matt Ryan first round. He'd go Matt Ryan, get Julio Jones. Like he'd build his whole team, like even drafting kickers in the 5th round kind of thing, like get a player for each position to fill his roster. Like that's how he drafted every year. He'd always reach on kickers and stuff. And he never won the league. I won the league twice. And that's what kind of got me more into it, thinking I could be good at this. And he would just always be decent, but never win.
I've been in a couple leagues like that too, where I've seen a guy just go down the sheet, quarterback, running back, and just fill tight end and then kicker. He was taking a kicker before he was taking depth at his skill positions, and I was like, yo, what is going on here, man? This is crazy. You know, there's maybe been only a handful of guys in, you know, fantasy history that are, you know, worthy of an early kicker pick, but that's very few and far between.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out, Corey. Just go sign up for patreon.com/footballcards. When you do that, you'll get access to the Discord. You can private message all of us, that pretty much all of us in here now. I don't know about Hard Jim Ball. I don't think Bush Leaguers is in there yet, but he's definitely a regular. He's a good dude. Hard Jim Ball wants to know what our most expensive card is. I don't know what my most expensive card is now. I have to actually think about that for a second. That's a good question.
I don't know. I'd have to. I'm gonna probably bring some of my bigger cards with me to the show, but if I had to guess, like probably a Justin Fields auto, most likely.
Yeah, I think mine is probably that Mike Evans auto, Prism auto. Red Prism auto out of 35.
I think I've only been recently buying on the, you know, more heavy side and buying fewer cards, and just because time is a bigger thing for me now than it was a year ago. So I'm buying fewer cards that I can manage my inventory better than before. But yeah, before I was just buying like tons of stuff in like the 10 to 30 range, you know what I mean? And that was like,
yeah,
still a great play, don't get me wrong, but if you just don't have that kind of time to list that many cards, then it's not to your advantage, because then it just becomes like a hindrance rather than like something to your benefit.
Yeah, so it just makes sense to make bigger plays, like when you know you've gone through your process and you know it's solid, then just go ahead and make a bigger play on a bigger card. That's kind of my thought with the Mac Jones flip. So yeah, that one's worth some decent money, that Mac Jones auto that I bought. But
no, that thing's sick.
Yeah, I got a ton of cards in like that $30 to $100 range.
Derek. Andy needs to count us down.
Yeah,
Jim Boss says
you're
prime mantle. Nice, man.
You're probably right. It is 12-12. I gotta go to bed though, man. I gotta go to bed, guys. I can't do it. You guys, you can go in the Discord and you can start a stage event in the Discord and stream it there. But this stream is over 3 hours long now. I gotta cut it off, man. And I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I will be dead, man, because the kids are gonna just run me over tomorrow. And I gotta work. I got some stuff I gotta do tomorrow. All right. Got packages I gotta get.
If
it's past midnight for me, Ellie. This is what I'm saying. See, help back me up here, Eli. Help me, Eli. Help me.
I know Andy has to get to bed. I got maybe 5 hours of sleep 3 days in a row here, so I got to call it a night too. But I will say this: I probably will be on the Discord on around this time on Friday night or Saturday night. Pardon me, Saturday night, and we'll probably do some. So if anyone is on in the Discord Saturday night, I will probably do some drafts.
Yeah, that's a likely possibility. I will hop in there as well. So, all right, for Steve and everybody else out there on the quest, appreciate you guys. We'll see you in that next episode. Peace.
Good night, everyone.